I love this song that the Everton fans are singing. It's wholesome, it's a family song, there's no swearing in it, it's just good, innocent football fan fun. Fantastic. Loads of banners have come out in the Gladys Street end away to our left, hanging over from the top tier down to the lower tier, marching down the Goodison Road, which is obviously the road right outside this stadium, the main offices. The line from the Beatles song, In My Life, there are places I'll remember, with the Goodison letters underneath, those letters illuminated in blue at night time. The Toffees, simple as, in the old Beatles font. And then our motto is our standard: nil satis nisi optimum, nothing but the best is good enough. That is the Everton motto. It's what they're striving for, and tonight it absolutely applies. Nothing but victory will be good enough, because this is the final derby, the decider, with 41 wins each for Everton and Liverpool at this famous old lady. It is the Merseyside derby on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. Fans have phones in the air. Listen to the noise as Z-Cars starts and the players make their way out for the last ever Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. Now, when David Moyes left Everton first time around, he left them above Liverpool in the Premier League table. In the 12 years since, the Reds have won every trophy going, while Everton have lurched from crisis to crisis to crisis. Tonight, David Moyes is back. He knows the fans will want to cause as much damage as possible to Liverpool's title bid. It's the last Goodison derby, and it means so much. So for one final time here at Goodison Park, live and exclusive, only on Talksport, it's Everton against Liverpool. It's the Merseyside derby. This is Talksport, and this is football history on your radio tonight. Here's your commentary team: former England captain Stuart Pearce, alongside Sam Matterface.
Well, yeah, welcome to Merseyside. Welcome to the last ever Premier League Merseyside derby at the charming but decaying Goodison Park. It is the 120th meeting of these two near neighbours that has been held in this famous old stadium. How it started? Well, Everton had boardroom trouble, they moved ground, and Liverpool rose up in their place at Anfield. How it's going? Everton have just had boardroom trouble, they are moving ground, and Liverpool have risen up to dominate this season's Premier League. How it ends? We'll find out tonight. For many years, supporters of both used to sit side by side on nights like this. They even did it in cup finals in 84 and 86. But the tag of the friendly derby went decades ago. It's a rivalry more intense now than the day it started 132 years ago. I think you can hear that. The geographical gap has remained the same for a century or more. It's just a 10-minute walk through Stanley Park, but fortunes on the pitch have differed wildly. Both have new men in charge relatively, and the return of David Moyes has precipitated an upturn in form. And Stuart Pearce, his former assistant, is here with us tonight. It feels earthy, it feels fervent, febrile. This is Derby Day Goodison style. Stuart, how much difference does Moyes' return make to the outcome of the fixture?
I think it's had a massive dimension, you know, three games, continual victories. It's give this place a lift. What he achieved at Everton Football Club is not lost on the fans here. And the fact that he's give this club a massive lift in coming back through the door, and I'm delighted that a footballing man like himself is back in the game again.
Well, the two teams unchanged from the Leicester game, Everton, which means Pickford is the goalkeeper, O'Brien in an unfamiliar right fullback role, though he's getting used to it. This is the fifth time that he's started there. Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Mikalenko, Garner and Garner-Gay as the midfielders. Lindstrom, Doucouré and Njai behind Beto in attack. For Liverpool, no Englishman in the starting lineup. Alisson is the goalkeeper, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and McAllister. It's Salah, Diaz and Gakpo up top. We are underway on Talk Sport with Liverpool shooting from right to left in red shirts, red shorts and red socks. It's the blue shirts, white shorts and white socks of Everton Football Club attacking the park end in the first half, and immediately a robust challenge comes in from captain Tarkowski, who incidentally, in all the history that is being made tonight, it should be mentioned, is starting his 100th consecutive Premier League game since joining Everton. Free kick quickly taken and switched out to the far side. In by Bradley to the far post. O'Brien misses it and it goes out of play, and I think that's going to be a goal kick, although the referee's allowed play on because the linesman hasn't flagged. It's back into the area by Andrew Robertson, lifted towards the sky, and then it's allowed to bounce inside the box. Did it hit a hand? Well, it doesn't matter if it did, because the offside flag is now up over on the far side, and the free kick is going to be given to the home team. But a bit of a nervy start, actually, and an up-and-up atom start by Liverpool in the first few minutes, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, it certainly has been, Sam, and good evening to you and the listeners. Firstly, it started, Konate won the first contact header, and from that moment on, free kick given away, and a wonderful diagonal ball from Van Dijk to the hit man that is Salah, and Everton will be pleased to survive that.
Well, fuelled by shifting dominance and jealousy, this once friendly derby between Everton and Liverpool is more intense than ever now. I think we have felt that really in the early stages here, as Garner feeds Decore. Scored that fast goal last week. Lindstrom managed to stand in front of the clearance. The ball aimed towards Njai. Liverpool trying to get it clear. Diaz plays it behind Salah. Across goes Mikalenko. It goes out of play. And it's away for a Liverpool throw over on the far side. But a real fierce start to the game. We played 2 minutes. You're listening to Talksport live in the Merseyside derby tonight. Under the floodlights, inside this famous old stand. Goodison Park, one of the oldest stadiums in the country. The first 3-tiered stand. We are in the second of those, just over the halfway line, with a lot of excess white painted timber and iron pillars between us and the pitch, keeping the roof up. Allison has the ball in the 18-yard box away to our right-hand side. I mean, I can't wait for them to move to Bramley Moor, Doc, because I think it's going to be an outstanding stadium. But tonight, it feels like we're a part of history, doesn't it?
Oh, it certainly does. I mean, I was here back end of last season. The atmosphere outside the stadium when Everton won this game 2-0 was something like you'd never see outside football matches this day and age. And tonight will be even more special.
Well won by Njai over on the far side. Beto takes it on and then feeds it back into the heart of his defence. It's good work by the tall and lean Beto, who I must admit has started to add output to his game in the absence of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. The ball sent up and high towards the Liverpool defence. Njai couldn't take it out of the sky. Gravenberg tidies up. Excellent footwork to get him away from Decore. And then he feeds Salah. He's being challenged by Mikalenko, who, interestingly, Stuart, I think actually often performs better when his only job is defending, and as it will be probably tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, he knows full well you keep Salah quiet and stop him scoring, chances are your team have got half a chance, and I say half a chance of getting a result. Interesting to see from Liverpool's point of view, Sam. Bradley preferred for Trent. You know, maybe this is a game suited to he's the way he plays the game, let's say.
Yeah, in fairness, Trent Alexander-Arnold has been struggling with a little bit of an injury, missed the last couple of games as a result. Here is Lindstrom down the right-hand side, bursting into the box, tries to steer the cross into the centre, but it's behind Beto, cleared away by Konate, and it's out for the first corner of the game.
Well, Lindstrom's done brilliant there. Great 1-2 on this right-hand side. When you drive into the box, he's probably played it too soon, I would say. The cross should have been far post, to be quite honest with you. But certainly Everton will be pleased they've turned Liverpool down and forced a corner.
He won the Europa League with Eintracht Frankfurt, Jesper Lindstrom. I must admit, I've been a little bit disappointed with him so far. No goals, no assists since arriving at the football club. Here is Garner down the right side. His cross into the box is a deep one. Tarkowski looking to attack it, away by Gravenberg, who flicked it clear of the penalty area. Swallowed up by Decore, back in by Garner-Gay. Aimed up high towards O'Brien, who heads it down, but the offside flag is up against him. That's going to be a free kick inside the penalty area away to our right.
Interesting to see. Everton had a corner there, but they made sure Mikalenko's back in the centre circle. We've been at Anfield a couple of times this season, and opposition think because Liverpool bring everyone back into their box that it's a safe bet. Oh no, it's not. They're drawing you in to trap you on the counter-attack.
I was recalling that match against Aston Villa the other night when I was doing the Tottenham game. and the idea that actually the most dangerous moments for Aston Villa was when they had a corner.
Exactly was. Liverpool so good at it, namely Salah.
They have Aston Villa next Wednesday night live on Talksport as well. And form says Liverpool should win this game, but Everton beat them here in April, and Liverpool have won just one of their last 7 visits to Goodison Park. Slip today, and Arsenal might just get a little excited, although they've had some bad news, haven't they, in the last 12 hours or so. Here is Salah. Out to Szoboszlai, little flick into the path of Bradley, the Northern Irishman trying to get down the right-hand side. He runs beyond one defender, and then across comes another in Jared Braithwaite, who hammers the ball out, and it took a little flick off of a red shirt, and it's out for a throw-in deep inside Everton territory, wide on the left in the full-back position. 0-0, 5.5 minutes played. You're listening to TalkSport at Goodison Park.
From Everton's point of view, what they can't do, what is non-negotiable for Everton against Liverpool, is losing headers and losing tackles tonight. And already, to be fair, they've lost 3 or 4 disputable contests with the ball in the air, and you can't afford to do that. That's got to be your ace card if you're Everton.
Listening to Everton 0, Liverpool 0 on TalkSport with Sky Sports, and don't forget you can stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract on Now. Search Now Sports. Here is Doucouré winning a header forward by Lindstrom, and now Beto trying to outpace Konate. Good luck with that. He just put on the accelerator, put his body between man and ball, and shut the route.
Yeah, he certainly did. He's having a wonderful season, Konate, isn't he? That partnership between him and Van Dijk has been outstanding for Liverpool this year.
Yep. First player to score his first 5 Liverpool goals with his head since 1993, and an old mate of yours, Mark Wright.
Oh, Mark Wright, yeah.
Played at Italia 90 with him, didn't you?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, very good player. Had a wonderful World Cup.
He did. And that was when they changed the formation. You changed the formation, didn't you? And he came in as the sort of auxiliary centre-half, the sweeper.
That was it, yeah. Very good on the ball.
7 minutes gone in the last derby at Goodison Park. Alisson has it inside the D, away to our right, on a chilly night on Merseyside. David Moyes standing on the edge of his technical area, now just turns and goes back to sit in his dugout, have a quick word with one of his members of staff. Arne Slot standing on the edge of the technical area in a very slick black Mac, and he watches as his fellow Dutchman Van Dijk finds Cody Gakpo, who sends it back to the Scotsman Robertson. Robertson infield, and it's played into Konate, then Bradley to Gravenberch. Bit too much space for Gravenberch there in the middle of the park, and he's found Szoboszlai, who's then gone on to run into the right wing position and get the ball from Salah, gets to the byline, tries to cut it back, looking for Diaz. He's a bit behind him, he's going to keep it alive. Robertson now arriving, sends it infield, gives it to Gravenberch, and they have to go all the way back to the halfway line.
Yeah, as I say, it's that possession football. Liverpool will be trying to take the sting out of this game, quieten the crowd down if that's humanly possible here tonight.
Well, that's their philosophy, isn't it? It centres on attacking, possession-based football with an emphasis on high pressing and quick transitions. But there's an element of control. It's not the helter-skelter of the Klopp team. Here is Diaz, looking to try and feed Gakpo. Nudged away by O'Brien. Given to Beto, who runs into the right full-back position. Under pressure, Liverpool trying to keep them pinned in here. And as he manages to clear, it comes off Diaz and goes out on this near side for a throw-in. Earlier today in the Champions League playoffs, Club Brugge beat Atalanta in the first leg by 2-1. Celtic kick off in around about 22 minutes. We've started early here tonight because of all those European games. There's matches in the Championship as well, including Sheffield United against Middlesbrough at 8 o'clock tonight, live on Talksport 2. 9 minutes played here. Everton boss David Moyes probably would have been sitting on his sofa in Lytham watching this fixture if it hadn't been for Storm Darragh intervention. Now he's in the dugout trying to orchestrate a victory over the red half of the city. Clipped forward by Garner Gaines, the right corner, looking for the run of Lindstrom, who's got the better of Andy Robertson, who didn't deal with that. The near post cross didn't take a flick that Lindstrom was hoping was going to go his way. It goes into the side netting. Not the greatest delivery, and immediately Alisson pumps it down the field, looking for the run of Salah, but across comes Braithwaite. Oh, flick on into Beto's path, but across goes Konate. I think the offside flag would have gone up anyway then on this near post, because Beto was a little bit eager, but that was an interesting throwback, wasn't it? one goalkeeper sending it long down the middle, and then the big centre-half pumping it straight back again, Stuart.
In all honesty, this is why I quite enjoy watching Liverpool. Not only are they a possession-based side, they'll go from back to front if they think it's on, and they mix the game up brilliantly. They get numbers in the box, and they're very, very good on the eye.
Certainly are. And Arne Slot wasn't happy, actually, after the weekend. I was down at Plymouth on Sunday, so was Adrian, and he was in bullish mood in his demand for a response yesterday. And they know that if they win here tonight, they go 9 points clear at the top and level on games with Arsenal. Foul by McAllister in the middle of the park. Very influential figure in that engine room. And he gives away a foul. In fact, it wasn't him who gave away the foul. He was the one protesting about it. Konate was the one who gave away the foul. And the free kick is on halfway. Michael Oliver has given it to Everton. Well, actually, maybe it was him who gave it away. It was, yeah.
Yeah,
it was right the first time.
I think he's debating.
Quickly played into Beto, who's in behind, goes on past the goalkeeper, slips it in, and Everton lead in the derby. Quick thinking from the free kick. Beto has found his shooting boots, his scoring boots, and the back of the net. 1-0 to Everton. Ball play right through the middle of the Liverpool defence. He got in behind it, was faced up with Alisson and popped it home. It's Everton 1, Liverpool 0.
Well, Sam, a high-ish line by Liverpool, and what you don't see in the game, players getting on the ball and playing quick ones behind, little cut it off in behind. Beto's gone through. Great finish past Alisson. If he's onside, fantastic early goal. And I was going to make the point earlier about how important Beto is. No Brozier at the moment, no Calvert-Lewin. It's so important for Everton's running to the end of the season, let alone tonight.
Well, the Everton players are celebrating. They think this is onside. I think he's miles onside. Miles onside. Forget your VAR check. We don't need one of those. Conor Bradley's played him at least 3 yards onside.
Yeah, but why is he onside? Because of the run, Sam.
He dipped back in and went back out.
Really intelligent run. Dipped back onside and then went in behind. Fantastic run, fantastic ball. Now the game's opened up.
Well. Have this down, did you? Didn't think so. 12 minutes gone. Everton 1, Liverpool 0. That David Moyes fella, I don't know if you've heard of him, but he seems to have done quite well since he's come back here.
No, went out the game, managed 1,000 games, won a trophy, don't know what happened to him since, Sam, you know?
What a start he's had to his second spell in charge of Everton. They lead by a goal to 0. Live on Talksport tonight. Jordan Pickford receives the ball inside the 18-yard box. He just pushes his hands to the floor, says, just chill, just try and take it down a few notches. Let's make sure we stay concentrated. There's a look of concern on the face of Arne Slot. Diaz bundles in to Tarkowski. Tarkowski goes to ground, and it's going to be a free kick to Everton, 12 yards short of the halfway line, wide on the right-hand side. Well, David Moyes only won 3 of his 22 league derbies first time around against Liverpool, all of them here at Goodison Park. What he also managed to do was construct a team that gradually got better and better and finished above Liverpool 3 times in 11 seasons. They might be some way off that now, but on any given day, his team can cause someone trouble.
They certainly can. They'll be well organised, well drilled. And if you need motivation for this one, Sam, there's something wrong with you as a player.
He actually mentioned that in the press conference yesterday, didn't he? Sort of, I'll be going around telling them the history of this fixture and letting them know what it means to the public. But if you need me to tell that, you're probably not in the right job.
Yeah. You've probably got to manage that expectation more than add fuel to the fire, to be fair. Make sure players play with a cool head, but they got experience in there. Pickford and Tarkowski, people like that, good experience in the team.
Well, I think what Arne Slot was complaining about was he didn't believe that it was a foul in the first place. He thinks that Njai wasn't fouled by McAllister, and he thought it was a little bit soft, that foul. But once it's given, you've got to defend the free kick.
Yeah, you might say it was a softish foul, but then again, how many of them have we seen in the Premier League?
Well, now it's Liverpool's turn to have a free kick. Over on the far side, it's 3-4 yards in from the touchline, wide on the Liverpool right. 14.5 minutes have been played here at Goodison Park under the lights, and it's the home team that lead through Beto's goal goal number 6 of the season. Sends the ball forward. It's cut out by Doucouré. He tries to run it clear. Held on to it too long. It was pinched by McAllister. They've turned it over high up here, Liverpool. And then it's played towards Salah, who sends it towards the back post, and it's headed into the net beautifully by McAllister, who gave away the foul, which led to the Everton goal. He's got them back into it with the back of his head, nodding it beyond the stranded Pickford into the far corner, and it's 1-1.
Well, you've got to say Everton thought they'd broken out and they mistimed a pass, cut out by Liverpool, and it went to that man Salah. You know he's going to get a finish away, or you know he's going to put a wonderful ball in the box. It was the latter, and a great header. I thought that Pickford thought that was going past the post and almost chasing it rather than diving at it. And it's 1-1.
Wow. Well, it came back out towards this near touchline. Salah picked it up. He was in an onside position, definitely. He drifts the cross towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and McAllister, arriving late, just sort of flicks his head at it. I think you're right. I think Pickford thinks this is going wide, and initially I think almost everybody else did, and then it snuck in right at the far corner, kissed the inside of the post, and it's 1-1.
Well, what a start to this fixture.
Lindstrom up to O'Brien. O'Brien trying to turn it infield. Stopped by McAllister. Given away to Lindstrom by Van Dijk. Van Dijk chasing him back out towards the near side. It took a little flick off of Lindstrom, and the throw-in goes against him.
This game, Sam, is going to ebb and flow, and it's really important from both sides and both sets of players that they keep a steady mental grasp of the game, if you like. Don't let emotion run away with you. Understand what you've got to do over a 90-minute period.
Yeah, good luck with that. I don't think anyone's keeping their emotions in check.
My nose was growing as I was saying it, honestly.
Lindstrom on this near side. Out to O'Brien, trying to get the better of McAllister. Was there a handball there? Assistant on the near touchline says no. That's Stuart Burt. Back in by Garner, who heads it from the middle of the Liverpool half into the centre. Diaz tries to squeeze it out towards the far touchline, and it's collected by Mo Salah. There's a few question marks amongst the Everton support as to how that linesman didn't pick up on the handball, bearing in mind we saw it from here.
I think the contact was too close. Contact on ball to player.
So you think accidental?
Yeah, he's too close to get out of the way of that.
I did a game last night, Brest against PSG, where a geezer got a penalty given against him because his arm was in an unnatural position. Hold on a second, here's McAllister, who's robbed it off the Everton defence, and he's taken it down the left-hand side to Gakpo. Gakpo is stopped in his tracks by O'Brien. It's cleared away. Yeah, his arm was behind him, and he was twisting back, and he pulled his arm back so it was away from his body because he was trying to avoid the contact. It hit his arm, and they gave him a penalty. Outrageous. 1-1 here.
I saw Harvey Elliott trying to deny his arms were in an unnatural position at Plymouth.
Yeah, I didn't put my arms up, he said. It's been a long time since we've had those things called replays as well, isn't it? Well, you never know. One day you might get away with it. The ball thrown out over on the far side. Actually, an interesting statistic from Mo Salah and his involvement tonight. But first of all, a goal at Turf Moor for Mickey Gray.
3 minutes on the clock. Game over, Sam. Burnley 1, Hull City 0, because they keep so many clean sheets here. It came from Bashir Humphreys from the left back. Got into the 18-yard box, fired it low into the corner. Burnley 1, Hull 0.
And by Mo Salah creating that goal, it means that he has got the most away goal involvements in a season in Premier League history. And it's only February.
I'll tell you what, Sam, I've just watched a replay of that goal. Everton were due a break, and it was McAllister who broke the attack up by getting a knock in. He was the one who ended up fishing the ball out wide to Salah, and he was the one who made the box unmarked. And that's what Liverpool do well. They get big numbers in the box between the goalposts.
22 goal involvements for Mo Salah this season. The previous highest, Andy Cole, 93, 94, 21. Foul by Szoboszlai. He's pleading his innocence. Ndiaye picked it up midfield. Salah came across, and then Szoboszlai went a chasing and a fishing, and Ndiaye went down very cheaply, not for the first time. and a free kick has been given against him.
Yeah, we talked about the players keeping a cool head in this game. The officials have got to do exactly the same. Let a few things go. It's a derby match. The players will find their level.
1-1 already. Goal from Beto after 11 minutes. The equaliser 5 minutes later from McAllister. And it is all square at Goodison Park in the final ever Premier League derby. Ball headed out towards the near touchline. It's a fast and furious start to the game. It's a throw into Everton, 5 yards inside Liverpool territory. It's tossed back to the centre half, Tarkowski, who feeds it to his goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford, who's kicked the ball out because Ndiaye is down and needing some treatment just on the edge of the centre circle. Now, I mentioned he went down a little bit easily a couple of times, but he looks as if he's got a bit of a problem here, Stuart, which would be a real problem for Everton. They don't have too many goal-scoring or creative outlets, and he's certainly one.
No, exactly. They're, 2 centre-forwards out injured at this moment in time. He has been on decent form, creating and scoring, and the last thing they'll need to do is lose him. But looking at the bench and the concern on the bench, I'll tell you what, he's kicked the floor, and
that's what it was.
He's rolled his ankle, I think.
He did not get fouled at all. There was no touch, as we thought, but he didn't go down easily. What he did was he kicked the top of his foot, the laces, into the floor and stretched his foot, hyperextended it, and has probably rolled his ankle as a result.
I think it's his knee. I think they're treating his knee, yeah. Either way, looking at the shape of his foot on the turf, you could be forgiven for thinking that it was his ankle.
Absolutely. Well,
maybe he's jarred his knee.
It's currently
he's okay.
Everton 0, Liverpool 0. You're listening to Talksport. Just a quick word on tomorrow's breakfast show. Gabby Agbonlahor is alongside Alan Brazil tomorrow from 6 a.m. and guests include former England, Everton and Spurs winger Aaron Lennon in the studio to review this game. If you fancy something different, by the way, on your morning commute, we've got Chris Evans at breakfast, 6:30 on Virgin Radio. It's available on DAB, or you can download the app and get that. And after this game, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy open up the sports bar. Straight after us, they'll do all your calls, all your reaction, 03717 223344, and we'll do our best to bring you Arne Slot and David Moyes live into this show. But if we don't get it by 10 o'clock, we'll go into the sports bar and they'll be ready for us.
Yeah, just looking at Everton's goal again, Branthwaite it was that slipped that free kick through, but obviously the main concern for Everton at the moment is the knee of Ndiaye.
It was an excellent ball by Branthwaite, wasn't it? It doesn't get too many assists, but that was a perfect one. His first of the season, in fact. Scored in this game last year, Jared Branthwaite. We're still waiting to see the prognosis for Iliman Ndiaye. They're not warming anybody up, which is probably good news.
Yeah, but this is taking a while. I would say both teams, after 23 minutes or so, are reasonably happy. Obviously, Everton getting their nose in front and Liverpool replying quite quickly. And we're seeing the sub getting warmed up now, Sam.
Yeah, now looks like Jack Harrison's going to end up having to be deployed, and that is bad news. Because Iliman Ndiaye is a terrific footballer, and that is not what Everton need at this stage. Their first substitution after just 24 minutes, and off he comes to be replaced by Jack Harrison. He still hasn't left the pitch. They can't get him off the pitch. He's in tears. He's absolutely desperate.
And I think his knee ligaments have took a jar in there as he's had a swing at the ball.
Well, that's a real sad state of affairs for Iliman Ndiaye, who's made a real positive impact, I think, since turning up here. And because of his contribution and because of, you can see how much it's hurt him, not just in terms of pain of the knee injury, but he is absolutely devastated. He is crying his eyes out as he walks off. He knows it's a serious injury, and the whole of Goodison Park stands and applauds him as he comes off on this near side. They know his importance to this team, but he can't walk properly. And there might be a suggestion that they would have been better getting him a stretcher.
To be fair, there's stretchers dotted all around this place, and if ever there's a player that probably needs to take the weight and the load off of his knee at this moment in time, it's him.
It's taken Idrissa Gana Gueye has come over to try and help him off the pitch, to lift him so that he's not bearing weight on it. On comes Jack Harrison in his place. He scored in his Premier League debut at Anfield for Leeds back in September 2020. His last goal over a year ago. But he has to try and replicate the dancing feet and the balletic movements of Iliman Ndiaye, who sadly has had to leave the game after just 25 minutes. Everton 1, Liverpool 1. The latest odds available from Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Everton to win the game at 6-1. The Liverpool win is 21-10 on, and the draw is 14-5. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18+ BeGambleAware.org. There's a little wrestle going on between Van Dijk and Beto there. Two very big frames going at one another. Nothing came of it.
It's a good battle, them two, and Beto's putting himself around and winning the odd challenge against Van Dijk, and to be fair, he's going to have to do that. It's quite a lonely place for him up there on his own.
Given away by Liverpool, and Beto now has it. He's going to shoot from distance. It's straight into the body of Van Dijk. Comes back to Garner, who immediately thrusts it out to Garner Gay. On to Harrison, who gets fouled by Conor Bradley. Wide on the far side, goes down. That's going to be a free kick in a wide area for Everton.
Yeah, Liverpool complaining. They think there's been too many decisions that have not gone their way, that they don't think, and there was very little in that by Bradley, but I think he was just undone by quick footwork, and the referee was seduced by a player going to ground.
Well, Everton desperate to make a impression for their long-suffering support. Their winning run dented at the weekend in the FA Cup to Bournemouth, but there were positives, namely the performances of Jack Harrison, who's just come off the bench, and Charlie Alcaraz, who they just got back from South American football. Might remember him from Southampton days. Here is the free kick, far side, driven into the near post, flicks away by Diaz, comes back out to the left-hand side and cleared away by McAllister from the fullback position. Garner Gay's going to scurry across and get there first. He's pushed to the floor by Robertson. And Arne Slot that drops to his knees. He can't believe that the foul has gone against Robertson. Even more so, he can't believe that it's a yellow card.
No, it's definitely not a yellow card situation. You give him a nudge in the back. It's a free kick. It was a stupid thing to do from Robertson's point of view. I don't think it's a yellow card. Accumulation maybe of niggly fouls.
Game management from the referee just saying, right, this is silly now. Let's just turn the temperature down a little bit. And did he maybe just do a little bit of the old delaying of the restart, kicking the ball away?
Yeah, potentially, but on the grounds that he was the only player up the pitch and his 10 teammates were behind him defending the goal, there weren't a counter-attack on.
Ball clipped forward up towards the halfway line then from the 18-yard box, after the free kick from halfway. It's bounced into the path of Jack Harrison, who's robbed over on that far side by Gakpo, then turned over by Branthwaite, good defending by him. Garner Gay gets it back to halfway, and then it's into Harrison again, just left side. Tries to move infield. He's got Lindstrom calling for it in the number 10 position. He's held onto it for a very long time. Tried to twirl away from McAllister. Not going to be able to do that. Held onto it too long. Dispossessed, and the ball cleared by Conor Bradley. Goes out for an Everton throw after an acrobatic keep-in by Garner Gay. He's all action today. He's drawn a foul over on the far side. The ball actually not given. Now he's gone down again. The referee still hasn't given a foul. What's he given now? He's given a throw into Liverpool.
Yeah, referee's given up giving free kicks now. That's the spirit. Come on, that's what we want. That's what the crowd want. And I think he was spot on, to be honest with you.
Here is Konate, deep inside his own half of the field. This is the first of 5 Premier League games in 15 days for Liverpool. First taste of the derby for Arne Slot, followed by a home game with Wolves on Sunday, then back-to-back trips to Aston Villa and Manchester City. Well, win here and win those, and you can start polishing that trophy, I think, and try tying on the ribbons.
As I say, a victory tonight puts them 9 points clear, doesn't it?
Yep.
That's a lot when the pack that are chasing them are not showing great form consistently, I don't think.
And picking up injuries every 2 minutes. Here is McAllister. Luis Diaz on the halfway line. Back towards Robertson, who's deep inside his own half now, left side. Into the centre, and Van Dijk, who strides up into the middle of his own half. then flicks a diagonal out towards the right, looking for Salah, who takes it down. Lots of Championship action, by the way, tonight, including over on Talksport 2. But there's been a goal at the Stadium of Light. Graham Courtney.
There has. Sunderland 1, Luton 0. Enzo Lefebvre, the January transfer window signing. Terrific shot, 18 yards out. Absolute thunderbolt. Sunderland 1, Luton 0.
Yeah, good little player he is. Bristol City lead Stoke by a goal to nil. Burnley still 1-0 up against Hull. Plymouth 2-0 up against Millwall. Aren't they doing well? Muslic, the manager there, very impressive, speaking before and after the game on Sunday. Robertson gets in front of Lindstrom, wins the ball, takes it away to safety before Lindstrom could squeeze in between him and Van Dijk, and it's all the way back to Alisson away to our right-hand side. Swansea 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 0, Middlesbrough 0 live on Talksport 2. West Brom Blackburn just about underway as well, and we'll keep you in touch with Celtic because they've just started as well. Alex Crook is watching that for us. Here's Robertson in the left full-back position for Liverpool. Down the left channel looking for Gakpo. Across comes Jake O'Brien. And the ball spills out to the far touchline. Salah keeps it alive for Liverpool. Haven't done much in the Everton half for the last 10 minutes or so, but they're coming forward here with Gravenberch. Out towards this left, and Gakpo trying to keep it in. Almost went out of play. Just about stopped it from doing so for a goal kick, and it goes out for a throw. And O'Brien trying to point out that he thinks it did go out for a goal kick, but Michael Oliver is having none of it.
Yeah, just looking at Van Dijk there, his range of passing, he's hit this ball twice now, playing left-sided centre-half, comes in on his right foot, the diagonal to Salah. Fortunately for Everton, Mikalenko's got his covering position just right, so on arrival, ball arrives, you need to arrive at the same time as the ball if you're in the right position.
Everton 1, Liverpool 1 on Talksport. And the ball headed back by Tarkowski to Pickford. You're listening to our coverage with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs. And it started off as a really fast start to the game. Everton getting in front through Beto after 11 minutes, and then the equaliser coming just 5 minutes later. But we haven't seen much goalmouth action apart from those two incidents. But it has been fiercely contested, and it's a proper blood and thunder derby. Here is Gravenberch far side, hugging the touchline, just 10 yards inside opposition territory. The ball shuffled back into Konate, and then Van Dijk looks up. He's got Gakpo looking to go on a run in between right fullback and centre half, but across comes Tarkowski to head it away as the long ball is played by Van Dijk. Szoboszlai wins it back off Lindstrom, and then McAllister wanders into midfield. Bradley makes a run into the inside right channel, but it goes back to Gravenberch instead. 32 on the clock on Talksport. This is Robertson, out wide left to the gloved fists of Luis Diaz. The Colombian dances infield, gives it to Robertson once again. He goes back to Van Dijk, and they keep Everton just at arm's length, just pushing them back towards their own goal further and further. Here is Diaz trying to cut in past Lindstrom. Lindstrom nicks it. Referee says no foul. Off we go. And Everton can't get out of their own half. They've given it away cheaply. Robertson back into Szoboszlai. Left side. A yard in from the touchline. Diaz, by the way, popped up very quickly off the floor when he realised he didn't get a free kick.
Yeah. He popped up and Arne Slot popped down, to be fair, in disgust that a free kick wasn't given.
McAllister, the goal scorer, he's wearing gloves too. Little push from Garner. Once called the new Michael Carrick by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, James Garner, when he was at Manchester United. Beto just went in and gave Van Dijk a body check. Van Dijk, I think, just sort of flickered at him and then looked at him and started laughing. Which is a sign that it didn't really affect him, I think.
No, just keep niggling away at him, you know, see what you can do, see if you can get under his skin a little bit.
Let's go off to Celtic Park. Alex Crook.
It's still Celtic 0, Bayern Munich 0, but Celtic had the ball in the net inside a minute. Nicholas Kuhn with a shot, right corner of the penalty area. He found the bottom corner. Adam Eder flicked out a leg. I'm not sure he made contact, but he was offside, and the goal ruled out. Celtic 0, Bayern Munich 0.
Disappointment for Brendan Rodgers and Celtic in the first minute of that huge game in the Champions League playoff. Here is Harrison winning it back over on the far side after a sloppy ball out of defence by Liverpool. 34 gone, it's 1-1 on Talksport. Pickford's got it now inside his 6-yard area. Tarkowski's got a man behind him. He was alerted to that by the crowd. He's played it against Gakpo, and it's a goal kick away to our left-hand side. Everton's defence should be their strongest suit. Tarkowski and Branthwaite formed a reasonable partnership. Stewart at centre-back. And at its best, this team is well organised and very difficult to break down. But Liverpool have got weapons that are so difficult to contain.
They certainly are. And I'm just looking at the lineup of Liverpool. Salah holding the width on the right-hand side. Mykolenko knows he's got to get tight to him. So Szoboszlai has gone into an inside right position and said, OK, which one of you is going to deal with me then as such, you know? And they're the problems that Liverpool make you face.
Well, Garnegay was getting away from Szoboszlai and dispersed to the ball. Szoboszlai commits a foul. The referee does not give a yellow card. Well, he does now. He's taken his time to do so, but he's given a yellow card. I actually think he might have given that yellow card to Lindstrom for asking for a yellow card, not Szoboszlai for the foul. I think he's given that to Jesper Lindstrom for asking for a yellow card.
Yeah, as I say, almost silliness. You've got to be very careful, because the last thing you can do is have a player sent off. There wasn't much in that. A slight touch, maybe from McAllister. I'm not even sure there was. So you've got to make sure you're clean as anything, because later in the game you miss time one. If you go off, you cannot afford to let your team down at this rate.
Well, McAllister didn't touch him. Szoboszlai was about 3 yards away from him. In the end, it was an optical illusion, really. Here is Harrison with the ball into the box, headed away by Van Dijk from the free kick. Back by Garner with a header, looking to try and exploit the defence as it comes out. Didn't do so. There's a push now by Garner-Gay on Luis Diaz, who was looking to get forward. He gets a yellow card, and Luis Diaz wins the free kick just in front of the centre circle.
Yeah, and rightly so indeed. As I say, Garner's ended up pulling him back. Mykolenko should have been helping the header on back to his goalkeeper. He got it slightly wrong, and Diaz thought, hang on a minute, I could be in it, and he just pulled him back just in case.
That was definitely the definition of a breaking up a promising attack. But it was actually unnecessary, because there was a back marker there in Mykolenko, so he didn't need to do it. So he's given himself a cheap yellow card.
No, exactly. The referee's let a bit go. All of a sudden, he's nailed a few players, and the players have got to be just very, very careful that they keep 11 on the pitch. It's vital.
Well, they don't usually. This fixture has produced more red cards than any other fixture in Premier League history. Goal at Turf Moor, Mickey Gray.
Double the lead, Burnley 2, Hull City 0. Good play from Anthony down the right side. Whips the ball into the 6-yard area, and Zian Fleming heads the ball into the back of the net to double Burnley's lead. Burnley 2, Hull City 0.
Branthwaite just getting across Diaz. It was picked up by Van Dijk, centre circle, played infield, touch round the corner. Szoboszlai with a lovely little pass from that inside right position that you picked out again, looking to feed Luis Diaz, and Branthwaite had to come across. He didn't really know whether to go out and get Szoboszlai or sit back and look after Diaz.
Yeah, as you say, Szoboszlai, he's getting in that position there. He's behind the Everton midfield. Salah's very wide. Mykolenko thinks, well, if I tuck in, which I have to do on occasion, I'm leaving Salah out wide with 20 yards to run at me, and I can't afford to do that.
Corner kick then for Liverpool in front of the Gladys Street end, the Howard Kendall Gladys Street end, away to our left. It'll be taken over on the far side by Alexis McAllister, the goal scorer. He sets it up and then right-footed into the near post. It's a dreadful corner. It didn't even reach the edge of the 6-yard box, and it was headed away by Lindstrom. It might have been Mykolenko actually who cleared it away to the far side. And Liverpool go all the way back to their goalkeeper, who immediately dispatches it upfield. Alisson, away by Branthwaite, chested down by Harrison. James Garner forward into Idrissa Gana-Gueye, back to the edge of the 18-yard box, and Branthwaite with a lovely pass out to Harrison. And then up to Beto on halfway, trying to hold the ball up. Does that well. Gives it back to Mykolenko, who looks up, feeds it down the left corridor. Chested down by Beto again. Looks to try and turn, but his turning circle wasn't sharp enough. It goes out and away for a throw-in.
Yeah, Beto's he's a bit ungainly. He gallops along, but I tell you what, he's been effective today. He's got his body up against the opposition's back line. He's unsettled them. He's won the odd header, but more importantly, he's put the ball in the net.
Well, he did say actually his first memories of watching Everton are Merseyside derbies. He has the chance to make a bit of history tonight, and he's already made a memory, scoring in a Merseyside derby. His 6th goal of the season, the Guinea-Bissau international, starting back-to-back Premier League games for the first time this season.
I think the big game changer in this, where Liverpool's ace card is, yes, they've got a strong starting 11, But my goodness, when you look at the bench, it's so strong, isn't it?
Yeah, you pointed that out before we kicked off here tonight. I then tried to remind you that we said the same thing about Newcastle when they played Bournemouth and they got absolutely pummeled, and you said, yeah, but they didn't need their bench.
No, they didn't. You play that well with your first 11, you don't need a bench.
They certainly did play well with their first 11 that night. You're listening to Talksport. We're live at the Goodison Park on the final night of action as far as Merseyside derbies are concerned in this stadium, and we've got 5 minutes before half-time, and it's one apiece. Arne Slot just trying to up the ante again. There's a little bit of a adrenaline lull after a firebrand start to the game. Alan Irvine just giving Moisey a bit of advice on the near touchline. And those two have occupied that touchline a few times down their careers, haven't they?
They certainly have. We were just talking to Alan Irvine beforehand, and I said these games are absolutely perfect to go out there as a full-back and whack the winger into the stand, and Irv looked at me with a wry smile on his face and went, I've had a few of them.
And you said, I've dished out a few of them. Ball cleared towards the far touchline, headed down by Salah, infield towards Bradley, and back by Mikalenko to his goalkeeper, sort of spooned it off of Bradley, and it goes into the arms of Pickford, and it will be cleared away. Arne Slot rejected the suggestion that going out of the Cup at the weekend was any sort of blessing in disguise. He said nothing good can come from losing a game. Well, they're not losing this one now, they're back level, but they're certainly in a game, that is for sure.
Yeah, it's been a good game. Everton have done quite well in regard to decent long balls that they've played. Beto and Decore have been a bit of a nuisance. Liverpool have failed at this moment in time to get that ball securely into Salah, and I've got to say Mikalenko's shepherded him quite well, but you know what Salah's like. He's got an assist to his name already, but you know full well the longer the game goes on, the more the magician that is Salah will come into this game.
Certainly. 1-1. This is Talksport. And we are live at Goodison Park. Remember a little bit later on tonight, the sports bar open for business, and I was just looking at some of the fixtures that we've got coming up over the next couple of days. Friday night, Brighton against Chelsea. Big test that for Chelsea after losing down there on Saturday evening. We've also got QPR Derby from the Championship the same night. And then Saturday, Leicester against Arsenal live from the King Power Stadium. And Preston against Burnley before they meet each other in the Cup. That's on Talksport 2. Over on the far side, Jack Harrison has it. He's 15 yards inside opposition territory. 20, 30. Sends the ball into the near post. Flicked under the air by Beto. Flicked it behind him, but couldn't get the kind of contact that was going to trouble Alisson. Goes wide of the post and out for a goal kick away to our right.
Yeah, good trajectory there. Harrison cut inside, opened up on his right foot. He's curled it. And as I say, they was trying to get a little flick on from Beto, but he just got too much on it. Alisson saw it just float past the far post.
1-1 here. Bristol City lead Stoke by a goal to nil. Nearly half an hour played there. Burnley 2, Hull 0. Plymouth 2, Millwall 0. Sunderland 1, Luton 0. Swansea 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. On Talksport 2, Sheffield United 0, Middlesbrough 0. And West Brom 0, Blackburn 0. Those last two 8 o'clock kickoffs. 0-0 Celtic Bayern. Given away by Liverpool again, playing out from the back. Taken by Mikalenko, then Harrison down the Everton left. The cross from deep is over the head of Alisson. Well, I thought it was, and then he managed to bring his arm out and punch it clear, and then Gravenberch managed to get it away. Salah joined the attack together, and then Gravenberch lost out to Idrissa Gana Gueye, who came back to cover. He then gave the ball back to Gakpo. Gakpo then was pulled back by Idrissa Gana Gueye, who's got to be very, very careful, and then it came through to Salah, who started the charge for Liverpool. Blocked by Gana Gueye. Salah has it. Salah is now complaining to Michael Oliver that he should have done something about that, and if he had done, it would have been a sending off.
Well, this is what we mentioned earlier. It's a dangerous game to play, to get booked early in a derby game of this magnitude, of this velocity.
Well, he should have been sent off, really, shouldn't he? Because he was stopping a promising attack by pulling the player back.
Yeah, I think he just let go of him just in enough time to bail the referee out right. In many ways.
Okay, so you're going with the not sustained holding.
Oh, thing, no, I don't know about that. You can change your words all you want. It was a yellow.
Coming up to half-time. It is 1-1. And it is still a full complement of 11 apiece. Here's Virgil van Dijk. Centrally is Konate. Konate scoops it forward, but it's not troubling anyone. That it's going straight into the arms of Jordan Pickford, and we're about to hit half-time. And I think that is about right, isn't it, for half-time, 1-1?
I think so, yeah. I think it's been even Stevens in the game, I've got to say. What I would say is, I think if it ended a draw, I think both teams would be quite happy. Liverpool coming away from home, getting a point, keeps their tally ticking over, and Everton against a very, very good Liverpool side. I think they take a point as well now.
Right, Lindstrom.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official is
looks as if he was being a little bit casual again, giving the ball away. 5 minutes of added time. There'll be a lot of questions about that challenge from Idrissa Gana Gueye just before the break, with Adrian at half-time. Diaz clips the ball into the box, headed away by Branthwaite. Everton will want to go in all square or better. Bradley back to the halfway line. Konate now has it and plays it just through the centre circle and into the path of the imperious Van Dijk. Out wide to the left, and the Scotsman Robertson, then back to Van Dijk again with his hair tied back in a bun. Plays it infield, collected by Connor Bradley. He motors forward, plays it out wide, gets it to Salah. On the half turn is Diaz, who turns quickly and shoots, and it bounces off Branthwaite and runs to the far side. And then there was a really late challenge by Bradley, who went steaming over on the far corner as they attempted to clear the ball. Branthwaite blocked it. It went to Mykolenko, who tried to clear it, and as he did that, he was pushed into the crowd, into the Gladys Street by Bradley, and Bradley getting a stern telling off and a yellow card from Michael Oliver.
Yeah, I think Bradley was a little bit fortunate that Mykolenko didn't make a great deal of that, to be fair. It was warranty of a booking, fair enough. But I think he just wanted to make his mark. We've seen this young man wade into a few challenges. One was against Mbappe that had the whole of Anfield on its feet, didn't it, a month or so ago, which was wonderful to watch.
Yes.
He's some player, this young man.
Well, he's a 2021 Youth Cup winner. His experience of winning at Wembley with Bolton Wanderers and the Papa John's Trophy 2 years ago. The timing of his return from a hamstring injury has been sort of coincided with Trent Alexander-Arnold's issues, and as a result of that, he's been in the team for this big game. Doucouré a little bit late over on the far side, and he's very late indeed on Connor Bradley, and the referee has got a big decision to make here. I think it's only going to be a yellow card for Doucouré.
I think when you watch that again, it was more sort of maybe Bradley swinging through and kicking Doucouré, who didn't follow through. If he did follow through, then you can rightly see that being a red. Be interested to see this one again. Yeah,
because his leg was sort of raised, his studs were sort of showing, weren't they? That's what concerned me. It is just a yellow card.
Well, the last thing we need is to either team go down to 10 men, because it's a brilliant spectacle at the moment, a really exciting game, so we don't need to see the tempo of this game broken up by that manner.
No. Oh, we've already had it broken up by an injury to Iliman Ndiaye.
There was nothing in that, to be quite honest with you, Brandon. He's kicked the bottom of Doucouré's foot. Yeah, yellow.
I think it just looks bad because his studs were showing. Let's continue with the play with Ghana clearing the ball up to Idrissa Gana Gueye, held on by Beto on halfway now, trying to skip past Gravenberg, but then going backwards and held onto the ball really well there, Everton. Harrison left side. Now it's funneled forward by Mykolenko, but no one's going to be able to chase that. They're just a little bit too deep. When that ball goes into that left channel, you've got to be on your marks immediately that it's released, because Konate and Van Dijk will catch you easily. Ball cleared away. Salah this time penalised.
Nice.
Diaz was in again there as well.
Diaz again, similar to the one
he's just run straight into Branthwaite without any eyes on the ball there.
Yeah, he done the same again with Tarkowski, and Branthwaite isn't happy about it. Well done to the referee, just ignore it. Free kick sufficient.
Yeah, Branthwaite managed to head the ball away anyway. Well, was going to head the ball away anyway, and then Diaz came across and pushed him in the middle of the chest, and as a result of it, the referee gave a free kick. Fair enough. 5 minutes of them nearly played now. Given away to Gakpo. Gakpo inside the centre circle, careers forward, and Szoboszlai now goes down the inside right channel, tries a shot. Oh, it's spilt by Pickford, smuggled towards goal. Tarkowski with a saving tackle that spares the blushes of his goalkeeper on the stroke of half-time. He reacted magnificently there, Tarkowski. If he had not done that, it would have been 2-1 Liverpool, because Diaz was steaming in.
Yeah, as I say, a big melee of players. Szoboszlai coming in inside right, hit the shot, and he should have kept it closer to him, Pickford, no doubt about that. And then when Tarkowski got there, good first contact, he should have put it behind. But I tell you what, Diaz was on target, and the goalie was pleased to clutch it. Oh, it's poor by the goalie, wasn't it?
Yeah. He had to have Tarkowski back there, and it was only because Tarkowski hit it against Diaz, and then as it came back, grabbed it again with his right foot, that stopped it from being any more debilitating for Everton. Good first half, good first 45 minutes. It's a huge part of Merseyside football history that's about to disappear, this fixture in this stadium, but Everton certainly not letting it go without a fight. Liverpool yet to take full control of the derby. Beto put Everton in front. McAllister equalised 5 minutes later. They lost Iliman Ndiaye to injury in that first 45 minutes, and there were 5 yellow cards. Welcome to Goodison, welcome to derby night. It's 1-1.
And it's been fantastic. It's been thrilling. It's been memorable. And that's what we wanted, a memorable last Goodison Park Merseyside derby. And it got off to a flyer when Everton took the lead, which was probably, on the face of it, what most neutrals needed. Everton to take the lead. Beto. And he was so clever, I thought, Stuart Pearce, because it's a set piece. And he's made that darting run back and then spun back round to make sure he's onside. And we have the Everton set-piece coach, Charlie Adam, has been sitting just in front of us. And I wondered to myself, I wonder if he's feeling really smug inside that they've gone and scored the first goal in the Merseyside derby from a set-piece.
Well, I should hope so. As I say, what you've got to say, really, really intelligent movement by Beto. Would have been easy for him to just make the run, get offside, get caught. He didn't do that. He dipped back onside, then went again, got in, and when he got in, good composure to finish, I've got to say. And I'm pleased to see a player put his foot on the ball and take a quick free kick this day and age. Then normally they take so long, Aid.
4 minutes later, Liverpool have equalised. Salah with the cross this time, providing the chance for McAllister to head home. And it was interesting. I want to study Jordan Pickford here, because I personally thought it was just a really brilliantly directed header, and I think most keepers might have conceded that. Was his starting position for it correct? Or because it looked like he thought it was going wide. It was just inside the post. I thought it was brilliantly directed by McAllister.
It certainly was, and you've got to say, McAllister was the one that broke up the attack initially, that fed the ball out to Salah and then arrived in the box. So he's done brilliantly. But when the ball come in, I think that Pickford is guarding that near post a little bit in case Salah unloads one. And then when the ball come in, he's not set, and it's almost as though he starts running to chase the ball to go past the far post, and it ends up nestling just inside.
Well, 1-1 was the end of the scoring, but not the end of the action by any means. We must mention Ndiaye going off shortly after that, because that was really unlucky from an Everton point of view, and they have been unlucky with injuries, and he could be out for some time. We wish him well and hope it isn't a long time. In terms of the yellow cards and the refereeing of the game, I think the Van Dijk-Beto tussle has been brilliant, and I thought Michael Oliver, for the large part, apart from a late one from Beto on Van Dijk, for a large part he's just let it go, because both of them are at each other, and that's good refereeing, isn't it?
It's outstanding refereeing. As I say, you've got to do that. It's a derby game. You've got to get in the feel of the game, and the purists in the game will probably turn around and say, no, the referee should be booking people for this, for that. You're going to let the general public of Goodison Park down if you do that. Honestly, you are. Let the game go, let things go, keep 11 players on the pitch. That's good refereeing.
Yeah, and I think that the yellows he's given, I think it's been quite hard for him not to give those yellows. I mean, if we look at the Conor Bradley, Doucouré on Conor Bradley one, he is late, Decore. I don't think it's particularly malicious, and there's no injury caused, but he does go in late. I don't really know what else Michael Oliver can do.
No, you're absolutely right. They're bookable offences. Bradley's challenge is a bookable offence. Decore is. Players asking for bookings, you know what I mean? It's a bookable offence. He's done the right things. He's kept this game going. The players have a responsibility as well to the game and to their teams.
Yeah, bad referee might have seen Idrissa Gana Gueye sent off for a second yellow, but Michael Oliver has kept that second yellow in his pocket. I'm basically applauding the referee. I think he's had a good game in difficult circumstances.
Right, it's a derby game. You're damn right. It's difficult circumstances, but Liverpool probably contributed to Idrissa staying on the pitch by carrying on the attack. I think if Diaz would have stopped dead in his tracks and said, hey, I'm being pulled, the referee would have been backed into a corner and he'd have had to make a decision.
Yeah, a word on, you've mentioned them twice now, Van Dijk's diagonals to Salah, and they do look magnificent. They're a work of art, really, aren't they? And he nails them every single time. One question for you, though. Does it mean that Salah is too wide and therefore too out of the action? Do you know what I mean? I want to see him more as an inside right rather than a right winger.
The answer to the question is no, because his position is creating a reaction from Mykolenko. Mykolenko's got to go wide as well, because he knows, hang on, this fella's one of the best in the world. I can't let him have the space to run at me. So he's got his position really well. I've been quite impressed with Mykolenko as a former left-back. But what Liverpool got to do now is get someone in that inside right position, which Szoboszlai has been doing that. And they need to keep Salah wide to free that space up just inside him, you know. And if Mykolenko's daft enough to come inside and fill that void, Salah gets more room. So you've got to put pressure on the opposition.
But does that mean the Premier League's top scorer isn't getting in goal-scoring positions?
No, I just think the left-back's dealing with him quite well. So, is what I would say. Bear in mind, he's in that position when the ball's in front of us, at the feet of Van Dijk and people like that. Make no mistake, Salah will arrive in the box if they get down this left-hand side. I haven't seen Liverpool come down this left-hand side yet, to be quite honest with you, and create things. If they do, Salah will dip off the width at that stage.
Yeah, Robertson, there's been no overlaps from him whatsoever. Quick final word on an eventful 45, because Jordan Pickford bailed out by Tarkowski. He had a bad game last time out, Tarkowski, but I think he's been one of the better players, more improved players under David Moyes. And that was a goal-saving challenge from him there, because his keeper had messed up.
It was, yeah. It looked as though Pickford's gone down. He's made the save, but looked to almost try and push and parry the ball away from the danger zone. And he got his technique wrong, kept the ball in the danger zone, and it was down to Tarkowski to arrive. Probably should have been cleaner with his first contact and put it out for a corner. But fortunately for him, he got that slightly wrong. He hit Diaz, but he followed through with a very good challenge.
1-1 here, Merseyside derby. Last one ever at Goodison Park, live and exclusive, only on Talksport. Everton 1, Liverpool 1, 45 to come. Champions League, Bruges beat Atalanta 2-1 earlier. Celtic 0, Bayern Munich 0, kicked off at 8. Feyenoord lead AC Milan 1-0. Monaco 0, Benfica 0. Championship, Bristol City at 1 up, Burnley at 2 up, Plymouth at 2 up. Sunderland lead Luton 1-0. Swansea, Sheffield Wednesday's goalless. Sheffield United, Middlesbrough's goalless. West Brom, Blackburn Rovers, that's goalless as well. All square in the Merseyside derby, live on Talksport.
Kick off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
The new £5 meal deal from McDonald's. Get a cheeseburger or mayo chicken, medium fries, 4 McNuggets, and a medium soft drink for guess what? That's right, £5. It's not called the £5 meal deal for nothing. From 11 a.m. Not available on delivery. Carbonated soft drink upgrade fees apply. Participating restaurants subject to availability.
At Screwfix, we've locked the prices on everyday fan essentials. Like WD-40 at £6.98. A 100 pack of Easy Fix wall plugs at 94 pence. And a 200 pack of Gold Screw multi-purpose screws at £2.69. We've got your back with prices you can rely on the products you use the most. In stock and ready to go. Saving you the hassle of shopping around. Order on the app and collect in-store today. Prices valid until at least 6th of April. Visit screwfix.com for T's and C's. Delivery charges and restrictions apply.
Want a day off deciding what to eat? Sit back, relax, and let us do the thinking for you. And the cooking, and the cleaning. From salmon fillet Mondays to fish and chips Fridays. IKEA family members can try a different 3-pound dish of the day every weekday in store. IKEA, the wonderful everyday. T's and C's and exclusions apply. Find out more at ikea.co.uk.
You don't just check in to a village hotel. You work out. You jump in. You play on. You tuck in and drink up. Village Hotels, 33 locations with everything under one roof. A huge gym with pool and great membership opportunities. And a buzzing pub and grill with delicious food, ice-cold beers and live sport. Check out villagehotels.com and work out, stay, meet and play.
At Betfair, we're about finding different ways to play. Like with our 90-minute guarantee. We've all been there. The clock ticks over into 90 minutes and then a speculative cross into the box ricochets off a knee and goes in, ruining your bet. But with Betfair's 90-minute guarantee, if your bet is winning at 90 minutes or full time, we pay out. Betfair. Play different.
Applies to match odds 90 market or markets with the 90 icon. Sportsbook exclusive. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Kick off on Talksport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract on now. 18+. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Get all the goals on your radio.
Have we got something special for you?
Setting the gold standard of out-and-out, fully combustible football commentary.
Game night on Talksport.
It's Talksport, your home of live football. A word about the fans, because they've been absolutely magnificent, created a brilliant atmosphere, raucous during the game, even if they were totally unfair with some of the things they were calling for. They really have been a big part of this last ever Merseyside derby here at Goodison Park. Let's get the halftime odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5+ acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds are 3-1 or greater. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
So at half-time it is Everton 1, Liverpool 1, Everton are 6-1 to win the game. The draw's 15-8, Liverpool are 11-8 on. A player to be sent off was 11-4. It's been odds boosted to 7-2. Virgil van Dijk to score a header was 14-1. It's now 18-1. 18-1. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
It's Talksport live at Goodison Park for the Merseyside derby one final time. Let's take you round the grounds. Let's find out what's happening to Celtic in that Champions League playoff. We'll do that in just a moment, but first of all, our chief football correspondent, Alex Crook, who's watching the game, has got some breaking news for us, Alex.
Yeah, and bad news as far as Chelsea are concerned. Nicholas Jackson missed their FA Cup defeat live on TalkSport on Saturday with a hamstring injury that he suffered, Adrian, in the game you were at, I think, against West Ham United the previous Monday. We've had confirmation at TalkSport in the last few minutes. Nicholas Jackson not expected now to return until after the international break in March. That means he'll miss the return game against Brighton live on TalkSport on Friday. They've got Aston Villa away after that, and Arsenal away to play before the international break. And when you look at Chelsea's recent poor form, I think this is a significant blow to their hopes of a Champions League finish, especially when you look at how disappointing Christopher Nkunku was at the Amex on Saturday night.
Indeed, Kai Havertz as well, out for a period of time, possibly for the rest of the season at Arsenal after an injury in Dubai training. What's been happening in the Celtic game, Alex?
Yeah, 33 minutes gone here. It's Celtic 0, Bayern Munich 0. 30 seconds on the clock when Nicholas Kuhn curled beautifully into the far corner from 22 yards out. The celebrations quickly cut short, though, as far as Celtic were concerned. Adam Eder made a movement towards the ball. He was clearly in an offside position, clearly distracting Manuel Neuer in the Bayern goal, and the goal did not stand. I've got to say, the Bundesliga side have dominated possession since then. Kasper Schmeichel made a good save to deny Michael Elise, the former Palace man, from point-blank range. Harry Kane has seen a shot blocked by Ustin Trusty, and then just a few moments ago, Leroy Sané one-on-one with Schmeichel in the Celtic goal. He just missed his kick, and it was a relatively comfortable save in the end. 11 minutes to go until half-time. This one on a knife edge. Celtic 0, Bayern 0.
In our live commentary on Talksport 2 right now in the Championship, Sheffield United have taken the lead against Middlesbrough on loan. Jezrak Saki has got the goal. That's live on Talksport 2. To get Talksport 2, you can download the Talksport app for free. Won't take long. It's easy to use. Just swipe between Talksport and Talksport 2, and Times Radio and all the Virgin Music stations are on there as well. Sheffield United 1, Middlesbrough 0 live on Talksport 2. Half-time at Turf Moor in the Championship. Here's Mickey Gray.
Where it is Burnley 2, Hull City 0. We are still actually in the dying seconds, Adrian, in this game, but Burnley have just dominated this first 45 minutes. Good goals from Bashir, Humphreys and Zian Fleming. Could have been more. Fleming should have obviously got his second of the game as well, and Anthony's missed a couple of opportunities. Half-time whistle just gone. Burnley 2, Hull City 0.
Half-time at Sunderland as well. Graham Courtney.
Yeah, Sunderland 1, Luton 0. Goal after 13 minutes. Brilliant as well by the new Sunderland signing Enzo Lefebvre. Trey Hume spraying a ball along the Luton 18-yard line. Enzo Lefebvre came in, went for broke, slammed it in the back of the net. His first goal for the club, placed it perfectly. His first, our first. Sunderland 1, Luton 0.
And let's get a quick one from West Brom, Jeff Peters.
It's West Brom 0, Blackburn 0. Biggest chance of the game. Torbjorn Hegem with a header hits the outside of the Blackburn post. Lovely cross from Price. It's West Brom 0, Blackburn 0.
And the players are back out for the second half here at Goodison Park. It's all square in the final Goodison Park Merseyside derby, live and exclusive and only on Talksport. It's Everton 1, Liverpool 1. What's going to happen? Will history be made? Well, it will one way or the other. Second half live on Talksport with former England captain Stuart Pearce alongside your commentator Sam Matchface.
Well, Liverpool aiming to beat Everton for the 100th time in all competitions. Not exactly how the Everton faithful are hoping their relationship with Goodison and the derby ends up. Out of the 99 wins, 2 of those came in the Football League Super Cup, or Screen Sports Super Cup. Remember that? September 1986, the final was played in. It was for all the clubs that didn't end up getting to go into Europe when Europe participation was banned.
I remember the Anglo-Italian Cup around that time.
Here is Harrison at the start of the second half, getting it onto his left foot, driving it down the left-hand side of the penalty area. It's blocked by Konate and cleared away. Yeah, Alan Hansen lifting the trophy. The Communards were the biggest selling single of that month. The best record in the charts was definitely Jermaine Stewart around that time. Although 5-star Rain or Shine is close.
Yeah. Listen, I've just seen a legend go past in 1986. His name's Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah, certainly. He was player manager at the time. No changes at half-time. Blue shirts, white shorts and white socks for Everton, attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. Why did you turn your nose up at Jermaine Stewart? That was a great record.
Yeah, I'll take your word for that, my friend.
All red for Liverpool, attacking the park end away to our right, and no changes in personnel since we lost Iliman Ndiaye to injury. Couple of those personnel, it's got to be a little bit careful. Garner Gay, Doucouré in particular, I think. Bradley, Robertson and Lindstrom, all on yellow cards. The ball is out far side. 2 balls in play at one stage, and now throw into Liverpool in the left full-back position. The first Everton-Liverpool game was played on the 13th of October 1894, a game that Everton won 3-0 with goals from Tom McInnes, Alex Latter and Jack Bell. There was no footage available of it. You might not believe it with the recent record, but the score is 41-41 at Goodison Park between these two in all competitions. Ball sent long. Oh, missed by Konate, who shrugged off the ball by Beto illegally, who thought it escaped him behind and was going clear on goal. The referee gave a foul.
Yeah, definitely contact there. Konate right under the ball. Probably not as much contact as the jump and dive to the floor suggested, but that's the nature of the game.
Quickly given by Michael Oliver. Frustration for Beto. Let's have a look, see how much contact there was. There's just a little nudge in the back from Beto. Nothing more than that. Here is Szoboszlai, right side, playing it infield to Conor Bradley. Go through the 2-11s for you in just a second, but Konate has it on halfway. Infield it goes to Van Dijk. Van Dijk forward, back to Konate again, and then down the right to Salah. Salah, he's had a bit of a quiet afternoon apart from the assist that he came up from McAllister's goal. He's got a chance to win it now. McAllister was waiting for it centrally, but he couldn't get it out to him. It was stopped in his track by Mykolenko. There's a foul there by Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai now being barracked by the home crowd. They believe that he's done enough to warrant himself a yellow card in this fixture. Michael Oliver not bowing to public pressure.
Yeah, he pirouetted and went to the ground when Mykolenko challenged him, or semi-challenged him, and then from that he was aggrieved he didn't get the foul and chased down one of the Everton players. Can I ask you this question about Conor Bradley? Do you think Bradley playing tonight, they've accepted that Trent's going to be on his way and need to give him as much experience as possible?
No, I don't think it's anything to do with that, actually, Stuart. There is a problem here for James Garner, who's been challenged on halfway, and he doesn't look in particularly great shape. There's a yellow card for Tarkowski for complaining. We'll come back to that in just a second. The referee has called on the medical staff to deal with James Garner. To Alexis McAllister,
just finger in the eye, I'm thinking. No, he's got a little slap on the face. McAllister's pushed him off. I don't think it warranted the reaction we're seeing.
The amount of drama we had for that is ridiculous. Anyway, I was going to tell you, I've got some information on that subject that you asked me about Trent Alexander-Arnold, by the way, and that is that Arne Slot said before the game about Trent Alexander-Arnold, he is not even close. He can come in for a few minutes. It's nice to have him around. So he's not available tonight to play a competitive part in this game because of the injury that he sustained.
Thank you very much for clarity on that one.
I thought it was good to do.
Much appreciated. I just think I'm trying to put myself in a managerial position when you think someone might be leaving your football club and you've got a talented youngster like Bradley. These minutes that he's getting at the moment are absolutely invaluable.
Do you think that he could, as we see Garner go off on the far side having had his treatment, do you think he has the ability to fill in for him full time? He obviously isn't the same. There's a lot of differences between the two. They're completely different players, even though they play in the same position.
They certainly are, but I think this kid is a far better defender, let's say. I think Trent certainly, his creation, goals that he delivers and stuff like that, he's a different type of player totally. But the pair of them, well, really, if you're Liverpool, you want both of them at your football club. Best of both worlds.
He makes these brilliant inside channel runs, which are great because he does get forward and he does sort of cause defences a bit of a headache. He's not the same as Trent. Look, there he is again, making that inside channel run, having a little sprint in between the two defenders that are occupying that side of the box. Here is Salah sending it centrally. One of the things Slot was saying at the weekend was he's got to know when he's got to make those, as he goes into the box now looking to get on the end of it, but across comes Branthwaite and shepherds it behind and it goes out for a corner.
Yeah, and as you say, the older he gets, the wiser he gets. He'll pick those runs off a little bit more clever, and as I say, it's enjoyable to see a young man like him on the top of his game, enjoying his football, when he's got a little bit of spirit and a bit of verve about himself.
Personality,
that's the word we're looking at.
All but one of Everton's goals since the change of manager have come in the first half of matches. They need to change that trend if they're to win this game. It's 1-1, 6 minutes gone second half. McAllister's delivery in towards Salah, away by Branthwaite. Good strong header out of the penalty area, comes back down the right side and it goes out of play because it's over the head of McAllister. It's a throw in the left full-back position for Everton. It's a bit different for Slot's team. 23 of the last 34 goals have come after the break, and they are the highest second-half scorers in the league with 32 this season.
Yeah, they've got a mentality of winning, and when you've got that mentality, you chase games relentlessly. You see it with the best teams in any division, anywhere in the world. They don't settle for a point, they chase matches.
So it's Pickford in goal for Everton, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Mykolenko, Garner and Idrissa Gana-Gueye in the middle of the park, Lindstrom and Jack Harrison the flankers, with Doucouré behind Beto. For Liverpool, Alisson the goalkeeper, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson the back four, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and McAllister in midfield, Salah, Diaz and Gakpo going forward. 52 on the clock. Just nudged forward by Pickford into the body of Mykolenko. Mykolenko back to Branthwaite, who's just right of him, backwards of square. He sends it diagonally out to the far side. Lindstrom sort of ran in towards it, then had to go back on the outside. He's tussling with Robertson, who brings him down. In fact, the free kick's gone the other way as Beto looks to escape down the right hand side. Doucouré looks to escape down the right hand side, and the free kick goes in favour of Liverpool.
Well, I've got to say, I think he probably got that one wrong. Both players tussling, going to ground. I would have played on if I was the referee.
Right, here is Lindstrom again, feeding Idrissa Gana Gueye down the right, 4-to-8 Matt in the centre. One of them is Doucouré with a header. He sent it wide. What a chance. It was a free header inside the box. The ball was flighted up and it held up in the air a little bit. Didn't have the sort of power in the delivery. It was almost drifted into the box. So when he met it hard, but he hasn't got his head properly behind it and he steered it wide.
I'll tell you what, in a game of this magnitude, you don't get better opportunities than that. You described it brilliantly. I've got to say, Sam, there was no pace on the ball. That's probably what he needed. He tried to generate that with his neck and got the angle on his head wrong.
So close. Everton 1, Liverpool 1, and Doucouré, who loves a big goal, so close to getting the goal to put them back in front. I just wanted to check actually whether Tarkowski was booked before half-time. I don't think he was, but I was seeing him have a word with Michael Oliver just then about a challenge that he felt should have deemed to have been a foul. Idrissa Gana Gueye has gone down in front of us on the halfway line as they battle again in that middle third of the pitch, which has been the battleground for most of the game. Not too many shots on target. 2 from Liverpool, 1 from Everton so far. And a big chance for Doucouré that's gone wide of the post. 55 on the clock. Sent long down the right. Chasing it is Beto. And Doucouré gets there ahead of Van Dijk, and now Beto has taken over and he's run to the edge of the box and he's fed Harrison. Harrison edge of the D now. Canate getting back at him. He sends the ball towards the far edge of the 6-yard box, and in the end it was not troubling anyone. It dribbled behind. But there was a break there which really unsettled the Liverpool back line. Who's been unsettled at Celtic Park, Alex Crook?
Celtic 0, Bayern Munich 1. The visitors take the lead right on the stroke of half-time, and it's Michael Elise. It's a left-foot thumper into the top corner from around about 16 yards out. A dagger through the heart of Celtic. Celtic 0, Bayern Munich 1.
Celtic had the ball in the Bayern net after 25 seconds, but the goal was ruled out for offside. But it's 1-0 to Bayern now in the Champions League playoffs in that first leg, the second leg of which is live on Talksport next Tuesday night. Join us for that one. Here is Van Dijk.
I'll tell you what, Sam, one thing I'm going to miss from Goodison, how tight we are sat next to each other. And there's a fella sat next to my right. Honestly, he's been eating a meat pie with almost like someone's feeding him with a catapult, to be honest with you. It's all over his chops. It's incredible. And all over my jacket now.
He looks like Mr. Adrian Durham, isn't he?
Oh, so it is. I didn't recognise him.
Ball cleared towards the far side. Half-time at Celtic now, and it's 1-0 to Bayern. Diaz trying to spin in behind. Gets down the left-hand side as the ball just spirals away into the left wing position for Liverpool, who are on the attack here. Gakpo gets it back to Diaz, and now McAllister to Bradley, who runs into trouble, and Doucouré tries to bring it clear, and then Bradley brings him down. Is that breaking up a promising attack? The referee says no. The Goodison Park faithful are not so forgiving.
I'm a neutral in all of this. Well done, referee. You can't be booking people for that.
No, I don't think so.
Coming together, 2 players, shoulder to shoulder. Doucouré done brilliantly. He was on his way, admittedly.
I'll say this one. He hasn't got many more, though. I actually don't even think it's a foul.
No, it isn't a foul. Doucouré's preempted some physical challenge, come across him, lost his footing and went down. I think we're seeing Trent Alexander getting readied. I think he's a little bit concerned that Bradley might be pushing the referee's buttons at this moment.
Alexander-Arnold's going to come on for him. Ball sent to the far post. 2 players collide again. Branthwaite and Gakpo. The ball spills into the left full-back position, and Liverpool get it clear. They're going to bring on Trent Alexander-Arnold here. Branthwaite sends it forward with his head, chested down by Beto, couldn't get it under control. Gravenberch away, Szoboszlai pops it over the top. Pickford comes out, and he'll whack that forward away from harm's way and invite a challenge between Konate and Beto. Konate left it, Bradley gets it further clear, and it's brought down by Garner Gay, miscontrolled by him. Header by Branthwaite, won by Everton, who've got the ball on this near side. Harrison can't keep it in, it goes out of play, and it won't be too long before there's a change, and Trent Alexander-Arnold's just pulling on his jersey down in front of us. We're just about to hit the hour mark. You're listening to Talksport. No sign of any changes yet. Any further changes, remember they've already used one with Njai coming off and Harrison coming on for Everton. Gravenberch out to Bradley, looking for Diaz. Diaz trying to go down the outside, and then, well, Tarkowski does brilliantly to push it out of play. Well, I've read the quotes out for you about Trent Alexander-Arnold saying that he was only fit to play a few minutes. He's going to have to play a few more than scheduled here, Stuart, because they're worried about him getting sent off, Bradley.
Well, it certainly seems that way. That would be the only reason for this substitution, that is for sure, but I think it's probably a sensible one.
Side flag is up against Salah. Curtis Jones is coming on as well, I think, and he's just about to enter the fray down in front of us. He's getting final instructions, as is Trent Alexander-Arnold. So we'll have two changes for Liverpool. Again, Jones was in the same sort of boat. He was ill at the weekend. He couldn't start the game against Plymouth, and I think he was going to actually play some part in it before he picked up that illness and didn't feel ready to be able to play his part in the game, Curtis Jones. A player I think we're a big fan of.
Yeah, when you can reach to the bench and bring the magnitude of these two individuals on.
You're in a good place, and Liverpool are in a good place. He was never going to overreact to the defeat of the weekend as Bradley clears from the right full-back position. It's half-time at the Hawthorns. Jeff Peters.
It's West Brom 0, Blackburn 0. Not many clear chances. Baggies bossing possession. Final ball not so good apart from Price's sweet cross, which saw Hegum head against the post. It's West Brom 0, Blackburn 0.
A slaloming run from Luis Diaz, who jumps past two tackles and then gets into a bit of a scrap with Doucouré. Doucouré goes down, free kick given for Everton. The hour mark is up. Here is Trent Alexander-Arnold and Curtis Jones. Obviously Conor Bradley is one substitute. The other one, Ryan Gravenberch.
Incredible run there by Diaz. Probably should have been pulled back for a foul, and he got a judge to bring in Doucouré down.
Alexander-Arnold comes on, Gravenberch comes off, and off comes Conor Bradley, who is not the most popular. In fact, there's a bloke here who must be in his mid-60s, nearly 70, standing up with grey thinning hair, his bald patch shining under the floodlights. He's got a tight jacket on, woolen jacket on. He stood up and he just bellowed about 5 boos as loud as he could. Up towards Beto. Did it come off the back of the hand of Konate as the ball was played long into the penalty area? Well, the referee was again barracked by the Everton crowd, but didn't respond. Hold on, he's going to give an offside here. And is there a little VAR check going on? Because he's got his finger to his ear here, the referee, and he's awaiting instruction. Doucouré and McAllister have been sent away. Is there going to be a handball decision? Let's have a look. The ball came into the box, it popped up. Were his hands away from his body? Well, I don't really think you can give that because it comes from the blind side of the defender. It did hit his hand. It did. And if this was a European game, that would be a penalty. I'm telling you now.
Maybe.
But not in the Premier League.
No, and I don't think in the context of this game it deserves to be a penalty. I've got to be honest.
No, I don't think in the context of any game it deserves to be a penalty because there was no chance that he'd get out of the way with it because it came from the other side of Beto's body. You would never have known about it. But the problem is that handball is so cloudy that everybody is going to appeal the minute it hits the hand.
Well, I always thought this word deliberate had to be involved in it. That was no way near deliberate.
Here is Salah trying to silent forward. Oh, Doucouré's got there first, and then Idrissa Gana Gueye is trying to bound forward. And then as the ball goes up towards the centre circle, the foul is committed, and the referee is being asked again to issue another card. It was Alexis, was it Curtis Jones who went through?
Jones, welcome to the game.
Immediately given a yellow card for his involvement. I've dropped my pencil on the floor, so I'm going to have to reach down. It's quite a way down here at Goodison Park.
Yeah, he was just stretching then, and to be fair to Jones, he had his foot up. It was quite in a dangerous manner, I've got to say. He's very, very fortunate, and another day, that is a yellow, it's a pink. We've invented a pink, I think, for that one.
I thought it was orange when it was
orange?
sort of between red and yellow.
I've faded a little bit in the washing machine.
Don't worry, by the way, I'm back. Thanks for filling in.
You're welcome.
Jones with a yellow card, the latest yellow card. How many yellow cards can we get today?
I don't think we've seen the end of them as yet.
Free kick then from the centre circle. Sent towards Branthwaite by Garner. Headed in towards Beto, away by Konate, and sent out for a throw-in. 27 minutes to go. And the Everton fans just sensing that their team is starting to creep on top here. Mykolenko to Harrison. Harrison down by the corner flag, looking to try and get into a crossing position. He's got two red shirts around him. He still held on to the ball really well, actually, and then ran into Alexander-Arnold, who's pinched it, fed Salah. Salah looks to escape, but he's not going to get it out. McAllister takes over from Jones, sends it back to Robertson, and now they will get clear here, Liverpool. It's been a good game.
It certainly has, and you can't help thinking, with both these teams locked on 41 victories each, there's a twist in this one, Sam.
Well, there's always something to talk about when you come away from a Merseyside derby. A little step over by Szoboszlai, but it ran off Branthwaite. Almost came through on the edge of the box of Szoboszlai again. He wants a penalty for a challenge, and the referee is saying no. Mykolenko went down very softly, went down with Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai went down quite softly. The challenge went in on him from Mykolenko. The referee said no penalty.
Yeah, I think out of both the teams here, it's Liverpool that feel more aggrieved that a lot of the marginals have gone against them. That is for sure. I don't think both sets of fans are helping out a great deal. For me, no, I don't think so.
Well, there was contact with the bottom of the foot.
Yeah, but by who? On who is the question I'd ask it.
Well, Charlie Adam is sitting along the front line here, keeping an eye on proceedings. He's working for Everton now, Charlie Adam, isn't he? Because
he's on the coaching staff.
He's on the coaching staff. He's one of Leighton Baines on the coaching staff, Alan Irvine, Billy McKinley. Almost the old band back together.
Yeah, I know. It's like Alvida Zane, isn't it? All they're short of is me, Barry, you know? To be fair, Charlie come in at West Ham on a couple of occasions and had a few days with us down there, and had a pre-season up at St Andrews with us. Dave rates him very highly.
They did make an official approach for you, but they couldn't afford your release clause.
No, they certainly couldn't. It was the petition from you lot at Talksport to keep me here.
Absolutely. Here's Harrison down the left. Lovely cross in towards Beto, edge of the 6-yard box. It's going to drop inside the area. Who's going to get there first? Robertson and Doucouré fighting for it. Doucouré's won it at the second attempt. Played it against Robertson. It's a corner to Everton.
I've got to say, brilliant defending there. Beto was in the box, using all 6'3" of him, but Van Dijk shepherded him brilliantly and got first contact.
Well, they feel as if they're building something. Live on Talksport. It's Everton 1, Liverpool 1, live on Talksport. 67 on the clock with Sky Sports. Don't forget you can stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract on now. Search Now Sports. Here's the corner. Garner to take it. Far side for Everton. And it will be taken by the former Manchester United man, an outswinger, right-footed, deep towards the far post. Tarkowski trying to get up and underneath it. Heads it down. It comes to the Branthwaite. He puts it in, runs away in celebration. The offside flag goes up to deny him a second derby goal. He scored here against Liverpool in April. He popped it in from close range tonight, but the offside flag went up.
Yeah, it was O'Brien. He was just lazy in coming back, O'Brien, and he was the one, when he eventually come back, he was the one who kept it alive. No, it was definitely offside. Saw that straight away. Liverpool done well, to be fair to them. Vacated it, left 2 Everton players offside, but O'Brien got the contact that created the goal.
Did he get the contact though?
Yes, he did.
Let's have a look. Well, it dropped down near him. It's about how it looks like he got the contact. If he did get the contact on the ball, then he is in an offside position, and the goal is chalked off, and it's 1-1. Currently Everton 1, Liverpool 1, and for the latest odds you can head to Ladbrokes right now, where Everton are 6-1 to win the game. The Liverpool win is 21-10 on. The draw available at 14-5. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. And the VAR very quick to complete that check. It was pretty obvious. Darwin Núñez and Kostas Tsimikas about to come on. Both 2 players who were involved in Sunday's disappointing performance. Tsimikas is replacing Andrew Robertson. That's the first change for Liverpool. The second change is Cody Gakpo coming off and Darwin Núñez coming on. I actually saw an interesting stat about some of those that were, the senior players that not let them down on Sunday, but didn't deliver what you'd expect. Chiesa succeeding with just 1 of his 10 attempted dribbles. All 10 of Tsimikas' crosses unsuccessful at the weekend. Darwin Núñez obviously struggling in front of goal for goals and assists, but he's on now, and his introduction has meant that Diaz has gone out to the left. He's just given away a free kick, and Harrison is fighting with Alexander-Arnold at the other end of the field in the left wing position for Everton. He wins the ball, brings it down, sends it back towards Mikalenko. He then looks for Doucouré. Wasn't the most sensible of balls forward, but they've still retained possession. Mikalenko again looking to play it in behind the defence. Konate comes across, puts it out for a throw-in halfway inside Liverpool territory on the left.
I'll tell you what, these 2 up front, Doucouré and Beto, have been a nuisance.
Now Beto being a nuisance again to Konate as the ball comes in from the left-hand side. It's collected by Harrison. 5 yards in from the touchline. Back to Ghana Gay. Back to Harrison again, who tiptoes forward. And then he gets a foul by Alexis McAllister. And McAllister gives away a free kick on the edge of the box. And there has been a goal at Sunderland for Talksport's Graham Courtney.
It is Sunderland 2, Luton 0. Wilson Isidore, the leading goal scorer. Ball played into the Luton area. Scruffy clearance straight to Isidore. Slammed it in. Sunderland 2, Luton 0.
280 on behalf of the players and all the staff.
Back here we got a free kick. 6 yards back from the left angle of the penalty area. Did Jack Harrison engender that contact with McAllister, or was it 50-50 for you?
I don't know what engender means, but yes.
Did he make it happen?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Here is... We've just lowered the release calls. Here's Harrison towards the far post. It's punched away by the goalkeeper and pushed to the far side. Collected by Lindstrom. A low ball into the box. Van Dijk's given it straight to Tarkowski. Didn't pull the trigger. Doucouré has, and he's bent it over the top. What a chance for Everton, and Doucouré's had 2 of them now. Van Dijk made a mishap, picked up by Tarkowski. He sent it towards the left-hand side after a little delay, and Doucouré went to bend it in the far corner and completely missed the target.
Yeah, he did, but I tell you what, Tarkowski's got to put more sympathy on the ball. He shoved it at him, it's half bouncing. To be fair, I think if he'd have rolled him a better ball, you'd have had a better quality finish.
I mean, Tarkowski, if it wasn't Tarkowski, somebody else would have hit that first time straight back at Alisson, because it was a poor clearance by Van Dijk, who's got away with one.
Yeah, I think you're right there. As I say, I thought Tarkowski, or whoever it was Tarkowski, should have had a shot, but when you lay it off to a teammate, you've got to have ultimate sympathy on the ball.
19 minutes before the conclusion of the match, plus stoppage time, and we'll bring you reaction live into the sports bar or into this programme if we can get it before 10 o'clock tonight. We'll try and get them out early. Jack McCarthy, who is our producer, who's usually very good at sort of ferreting around downstairs, dragging people out. Come and speak to us. We know Stuart Pearce.
He's a good ferret, isn't he? Won a golfing trophy. Did you know that?
I didn't know. He's joking. I didn't even know he played golf.
Did you not?
Let's not even talk about it. 18 minutes to go.
Do you think he always dresses like an absolute imbecile? Come on now.
Here is Konate. Forward towards Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's coming from you.
Exactly. King of the freebie, you mean? I tell you what, we need to get a message down to the referee and say, I tell you what, we'll play to a finish tonight. You know.
Given away. Jones inside the area, right-footed, cleared off the line, comes back to Salah. He puts it into an empty net and Liverpool lead. What a mistake inside the box. Given away. Diaz down the left-hand side. The ball was steered clear by Tarkowski. O'Brien didn't react quick enough. He went back in towards the near post. It was cleared by Branthwaite. Back to Salah. He popped it into an empty net from the edge of the 6-yard box, and Liverpool lead by 2-1. They've come from behind. They're now in front, and if it stays like this, they're going 9 points clear at the top of the Premier League.
Well, the ball was bouncing round like pinball. No one in the Everton back line dealt with it in any way, shape or form. Mikalenko has dealt with Salah pretty well tonight, but Salah on 73 minutes has got a goal and assist to his name. It fell to him, it come quickly, he stopped it and slotted it away like a striker who's used to getting 20-odd goals a season. Fantastic finish, made it look very, very easy. And Everton have got it all to do now.
Well, how much are they going to rue those missed chances from Doucouré? Just moments after the latest of those was sent hurtling over the top of the crossbar. Mo Salah, there again. His 23rd goal involvement away from home this season. More than any other player has ever managed in a Premier League season. His form is nothing short of irrepressible. 27 goals for the campaign. He's almost impossible to stop right now, even when you have a good game against him.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's made that finish look so easy. So many players would snatch at the first one, miscontrol the first one. He was just there, nice and relaxed. I'm going to take a touch and put it in the empty net. Made it look so easy. It wasn't easy, I can assure you. Not in a derby match of this intensity.
15 minutes to go. Liverpool back in front. Can Everton battle back to parity? 39,280. You're listening to Everton 1, Liverpool 2 on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. Alexander-Arnold on as a substitute. Clears. Szoboszlai. Up to Nunes. You just have to be faultless against them, don't you? You have to be.
Yeah, that was no more than a half chance. Branthwaite's done brilliant to get a block. The first shot might have ended up in the far corner. He got a brilliant block. You think the danger's gone, and Salah just takes a casual finish and pops it in the goal as though he's gone out for a stroll on a Sunday morning.
It did just look very simple, but it was about endeavour, intensity and desire. One little mistake from O'Brien, which he wasn't committed enough in the challenge. I think he was probably being a little bit careful about the fact that if he was too full-blooded with it, Stuart, he might have given away a penalty.
Exactly that. You could see him half pull out. You know you're going to induce a penalty if you go in full-blooded. But sadly for Everton and him, they paid the penalty. I'll tell you what, it's a real concern. I mean, we saw the big three missing in the performance against Plymouth in Trent, Salah and Van Dijk, and all of a sudden the team got turned over. So invaluable, especially with their contracts running down.
Changes a foot. Everton about to try something different. Jessica Gay coming off, and so is Jesper Lindström. And on comes Tim Irabunam and Charlie Alcaraz on for Everton. Goal at Celtic, Alex Crook.
5 minutes into the second half, this tie could already be over. It's Celtic 0, Bayern Munich 2, and who else but Harry Kane, the England captain, with a thumping volley to surely put Bayern a huge step closer to the round of 16. Celtic 0, Bayern Munich 2.
Back here, Everton on the attack, trying to progress the ball down the left-hand side. Cleared away by Alexander-Arnold towards the halfway line. It's thrown in by Mikalenko, and we're back moving again with Tarkowski just short of the centre circle. Harry Kane scoring for Bayern Munich at Celtic Park. He's having an unbelievable season, Harry Kane. Into Beto, back out to Mikalenko. Mykolenko forward, trying to feed the ball into the path of Harrison. Up goes Doucouré to put pressure on Konate. Away by Trent Alexander-Arnold, kept in by Salah. Tarkowski's got Darwin Núñez thundering down the ground behind him, but he manages to turn it back to halfway. Mykolenko really tight on the touchline, exchanges passes with Garner, and then he gets it back to Harrison, and apparently the whole ball went out. Not entirely sure that we're all certain about that, but the throw-in has been given in favour of the away team.
Just looking at Branthwaite down there in front of us, I think he's had a very, very good game tonight, you know. Been impressed with him.
Great player, isn't he? He's got a lot of potential. I mean, David Moyes will, you know, he was talking about it. They know they've got a lot of work to do to bridge the gap, not just between these two sides, but to where they expect to be, want to be, and where they are right now. They've spent a lot of money. Maybe that's not the right way to do it, and David addressed that yesterday in his press conference. Maybe we've got to do it in a different way. This is a club that needs sort of slow and steady building. He wants to do that, and if they are going to do that, he's going to be a big part of it.
Well, he certainly is. As I say, he's probably the most saleable asset at this football club at the moment, but if you want someone to build, David Moyes is your man.
Away by Mykolenko to halfway. Irabunum sending it on. Goal at the Hawthorns. Jeff Peters.
It's West Brom 0, Blackburn 1. They may be losing their manager, but they're winning here. Maktar Gueye with an overhead kick after a corner, fumbled in by the goalkeeper Wildsmith. Blackburn lead West Brom 1-0.
Yeah, Derby County paying the release clause for John Eustace this week. Ball over on the far side. It's away for a throw-in, which will be taken by Liverpool. And he's learnt a little bit about his squad as well, like you were saying about those big hitters that have come back tonight and done the job. Arne Slot, Liverpool top of the table in the Premier League, had the best record in the league phase of the Champions League, beat Tottenham in the Carabao Cup semi-final midweek to get to the first cup final of the season. But if you look back at the games in which he's wholesale changed the team, they've not been the same. That's a lovely ball by Alexander-Arnold to send Núñez away. Across comes Jake O'Brien, does well enough just to put Núñez off, and it goes out of play.
Yeah, great play there by Liverpool. Good ball into midfield. Salah set it off, and the bisecting pass. We thought we put Núñez in for a moment.
And that was Trent with the pass, as usual.
Say the power from the bench that Liverpool can unleash, you know, when they're chasing a game's incredible.
It's Alcaraz into Garner, back to the far side, and Doucouré, it's just a little bit loose and it goes out of play. 10 minutes to go. One of the great things about Alexander-Arnold is he sees those pictures as soon as they sort of develop in front of him, and he knows exactly what club he needs straight away, and he plays that ball first time in behind the defence. It wasn't perfect on that occasion, but the picture that he must see before everybody else is quite impressive. Here's Salah on the near touchline, fed by Alexander-Arnold, approaching the penalty area. First time ball into the box, headed away by Tarkowski. Flicked away by Beto, tidied up by Konate, who had Doucouré thundering down on him, but the ball was hooked clear by Konate towards Van Dijk, and Van Dijk will just turn it back to Alisson. 2-1 to Liverpool.
As you say, you're talking about players seeing pictures. They see pictures way before they receive the ball. 2 and 3 passes away. That's why they're so good. That's why they make the game look so easy.
Well, it hasn't been easy for Liverpool tonight, but they have got the job done, or it looks like they're going to get the job done. Unless Everton can conjure up an equalising goal in the final 9 minutes of the last Merseyside derby here at Goodison Park.
Sam, we had a commentary team at the Etihad yesterday, and they thought the game was done with a few minutes to go.
Yeah, things change. Here is Darwin Núñez on the left-hand side for Liverpool, skating forward. He overran the ball, and then he went following through on Jake O'Brien. The ball ran clear. The referee being asked to give a foul in Everton's favour. Eventually, he has done that, but he just got a little bit clumsy there, Darwin Núñez.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I think, Nick, this summer we need to get all the referees and officials together at St George's Park and tell them when players plant their feet and fall over, it isn't a foul all the time, you know.
St George's Park's having a bit of a refresh, isn't it?
So I gather, yes.
Yeah. St George's Park 2.0, is that what it's called?
Is that correct?
So cool.
Mark II, nice.
Good. Listen, it's a great facility, isn't it? And they've done a great job with it.
Yeah, it certainly has. I remember going there when it was just a building site. I think I've done the electrics on it, actually. So.
No wonder it needs refurbishing.
Are you talking about the fire damage?
83 on the clock. Interesting night for John Heitinger, who's part of the Liverpool coaching staff, who's at West Ham with David Moyes, and obviously a former Everton player, now wearing a Liverpool tracksuit tonight.
Yeah, I think he's been a very good acquisition for Liverpool. I went in and watched him coach on a few occasions when I used to go in and visit Dave, and I was very impressed with his coaching.
Up in the air and away by Mykolenko, the left fullback for Everton, who are searching for somehow to get a foothold back in the game. And Liverpool, since they've got that goal, have really just squeezed control back and taken a grip on the proceedings here. It's with Curtis Jones, the England international, flicking it round the corner to Alexander-Arnold. His ball into Szoboszlai, takes it away from Mykolenko on the edge of the penalty area, back out to the wide right position. It goes back to Alexander-Arnold and then on to Szoboszlai, who wants it from Salah. Salah holding off the charge of Garner, and then Harrison comes and pinches it back to Pickford, who sends it long and high into the night. It drops inside the Everton half, just short of the halfway line. Beto felt he was being fouled by Konate. The referee said play on.
Some form of contact there. Enough. Probably was, but...
On we go. Luis Diaz, who never seems to come off now. He seems to play every game. He played down at Plymouth. He plays all the time. He's full of energy, and he's gone on towards the byline. He gets into the area, tries to trick his way past Charlie Alcaraz. Alcaraz deals with him, pushes the ball out, takes a little deflection and goes out for a throw-in over on the far side. Ashley Young about to come on for Everton for the final 5 minutes of this encounter at the rickety old Goodison Park. Ashley Young, I think, picks up his bus pass in the summer. Is that right, Stuart?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, still fit as a fiddle. Worked with Ash with the under-21s.
He is he's 5 months away from being 40, is Ashley Young, but he's still an incredible footballer. I mean, he's had a brilliant career. What a career that kid has had. Unbelievable. Ball thrown in by Alexander-Arnold. Onto Darwin Núñez. Cleared away by Mykolenko. Nudged up towards Beto. Back into Garner, who's just inside the Everton half. He's launched it up towards the Cures, held it on well. Now found Beto, who's joining. Beto now up on the edge of the area, who went for glory from, 25 yards out, 20 yards out. He had to his right-hand side, just a couple of yards to his right, Charlie Alcaraz, who was screaming for the ball, didn't feed him it, and it was bobbled into the arms of Alisson.
Yeah, he probably took the shot too early, to be fair. He's been game as a pebble. I've got to say, he's chased everything. Him and Decore have been a handful, but just lacked that little bit of composure on that occasion.
O'Brien being chased into the corner by Diaz, who's still full of running, and Diaz gets a massive cheer as he wins the throw-in over on the far side from that small band of Liverpool supporters who have come from the nearby vicinity. It's the best away trip of the season for them. They're going to get another 3 points, and they've only got a 15-minute walk home.
I'll tell you what, the one good thing, Liverpool, they're not just a good side, Liverpool. The work rate they've got, the likes of Salah and Diaz and Núñez, you know. No wonder the fans absolutely love them. You've got a forward line that are prepared to run like they are.
Foul on Tarkowski by Núñez after the throw-in from Tsimikas. Free kick given, changes a foot. And on comes Diogo Jota for Diaz now. And we can get an update from the game at Celtic Park. Here is Talksport's Alex Crook.
And more misery for Celtic. They thought they were going to be given a penalty after a long VAR review. It was a stamp on the foot of Arne Engels. The replay showed that Deu Upamecano got just the faintest touch on the ball before that stamp. No penalty, said the referee, despite being called to the monitor. Hour gone, it's still Celtic 0, Bayern 2.
Well, the PA is so loud here, it's very difficult to hear Alex Crook. But Alex, if you're still there, can I just ask you, the referee was called to the monitor and he didn't change his mind?
Yeah, absolutely. And he was on the pitch waiting for VAR to make their judgment for a good 2 or 3 minutes. They called into the monitor. He had a couple of looks at the replay and stood by his on-field decision. Very rare.
Thank God for that. Write that guy's name down. Here's Van Dijk sending it out towards the far side. Jota picks it up. He's now running at the Everton defence. He's cutting in from the left angle of the penalty area. He plays it square. Here's Salah with a bender, and a big fist comes out from Jordan Pickford to palm that over the top and send it out and away for a corner kick.
Fantastic economy of football there. Great ball across the face of goal by Jota on the counter-attack. And Salah just comes onto it with his left foot, shapes it into the far corner. I think he thinks he scored. The contact's been that good. And just a palm, maybe he could have set it out a little bit wider to come in. Good save by Pickford, though.
Actually, Pickford makes the save. It's almost going past that left hand. He's already sort of dived beyond it. Here is the corner kick over on the far side. It's 2-1 to Liverpool with 2 minutes of normal time to play plus stoppage time in the final derby. Liverpool's unbeaten run is about to stretch to 20 Premier League games. McAllister's delivery under the goalkeeper. Tarkowski got there first. He dropped inside the box, but Salah allowed it to bounce, and then Everton looked to escape. Alcaraz, and then Tarkowski is fouled by Jota. It's going to be a free kick on the edge of the D. Haven't lost since losing 1-0 at home to Nottingham Forest on September the 14th, 5 months ago in the Premier League. Obviously, they lost at the weekend in the FA Cup, but in the Premier League, their unbeaten record is astounding, and as a result of it, they're going to go 9 points clear at the top.
Yeah, and rightly so. They've certainly been the standout team of the Premier League this year so far, and it doesn't look as though it's stopping. No injuries within the ranks of the team to speak of.
Back it is set. Down the left towards Harrison. Harrison stops it, turns and tries to fire it down the left channel looking for Doucouré. Couldn't take it in his path. Hits him on the back of the leg. Then McAllister. And actually, I think it goes out for a Liverpool throw, to be honest, rather than an Everton one. Harrison immediately reacted and wanted a throw, and he's not going to get it. And the seconds are ticking away here. Munich against Celtic live on Talksport next week on Tuesday night. Remember, we'll be doing that one to see if Celtic can claw back a 2-goal deficit. A lot of work to do for Brendan Rodgers and his team. Would have been a lot worse if they'd had that penalty given against them. There's still a way to go in that game. There's only a couple of moments here left. How many minutes are there going to be? Alcaraz. Thought he'd overrun it, but he managed to get away from Szoboszlai into Mikalenko, and then back to Branthwaite. Haven't really kicked on. The changes haven't really helped Everton. Here is Irabunam, though, getting the wrong side of Darwin Núñez, who tries to commit a foul. Irabunam continues to drive. He gets to the edge of the area, and he runs into too many red bodies, and in the end, they come away with the ball. And Salah now is running towards the Everton defence. He's dancing past them all. Alcaraz looks as if he's brought him down. Michael Oliver said no, he didn't. Crack on. Salah still looking pleadingly at the referee. Everton countering the other way. 5 minutes of added time at the end of the derby. Here is Harrison, left side. Halfway inside Liverpool territory. He comes infield, needs someone to give the ball to. Alcaraz provides him with an outlet. He looks to float the ball towards Ashley Young. It's away by Tsimikas. Collected by O'Brien. He steps in past Jota, gets into a midfield position and then shuffles it left. Mikalenko now with a chance to cross. He sends the ball deep towards the far edge, but he overhits it. Didn't get enough contact to whip the ball back in. He's overhit it and it goes behind the way for a goal kick.
Yeah, Salah's absolutely livid that he didn't get the foul on the edge of the box there. A strange place for him to go down cheaply, that's fair to say. And then from the resulting counter-attack, Mikalenko got his cross all wrong. Great opportunity to put the ball in the box.
Liverpool haven't lost an away game in the Premier League since they were defeated here in April. This will mean they're 15 unbeaten in the Premier League. That's impressive away from home. And where does it leave the title race now? 9 points clear, with Aston Villa to play next Wednesday, Wolves to play at the weekend. By the time we get to the end of that game against Aston Villa on Wednesday night live on Talksport, Liverpool will go from having a game in hand over Arsenal to being one game ahead of the Gunners. And they could be 12 points clear by that point, Stuart.
Well, they certainly could be. At the moment, I'll be astounded if anyone catches them. They're playing that well as a team. They've got so many options on the bench as well. people fighting for places. They've almost got 2 players for each position, so they're in a good position at the moment, Liverpool.
9 points still chaseable, if improbable. Any more than that, and you get the feeling it might just sort of crush the Arsenal spirit. Kai Havertz being out as well doesn't help any of the Arsenal supporters cling to the dream. Given away to Doucouré on this left-hand side. Development of the Hawthorns, Jeff Peters.
Yeah, Blackburn now 2-0 up against West Brom, and a second goal for Maktar Gay. Again, horrendous defending. In between those 2 goals, West Brom have had 2 disallowed. 1 for a push, 1 for offside. Blackburn leading West Brom 2-0.
Well, back here at Goodison Park, Tim Mirabunum has just had a shot from 25 yards out. And Ashley Young has screamed at him. 39 years old, 216 days, Ashley Young. Talking to Tim Mirabunum and saying to him, look, fella, that is not the kind of effort that we need at this stage. Yeah, he was in a good position. Yeah, he can strike them. But he had Ashley Young on the edge of the penalty area, being backed up by Jake O'Brien. You've just got to use that more sensibly.
Yeah, it was a poor effort, you know. Listen, if you're going to unload one from that distance, you've got to work the goalkeeper. If you miss by the distance he did, my goodness.
You are inviting a rollicking, I would suggest. Here is Jota picking the ball up after a clash of heads, and he's run into the penalty area here. Everton have got 2 men on the floor. Nunez spills it, comes to Tsimikas, away by Ashley Young, and now the referee has stopped the game for a head injury.
This is an interesting one and a very, very difficult one for the referee. 2 Everton players have run into each other. It's a clear, almost a facial clash between the pair of them, and the referee's played on because Liverpool were in a brilliant position to go and force the next goal. He probably went on and above the directive, you would say.
You would have thought he would have blown immediately.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, it's a really difficult situation the referee was put in then.
Well, he stopped the game now, and we're into the final few seconds of the match. He's explaining himself to Tarkowski and to Darwin Nunez. Darwin Nunez, who's been jetting off in between games to Spain because his partner has just given birth to their child. I think that's one of the reasons why Arne Slot felt as if he wasn't up to speed when he came into the game against Plymouth at the weekend. And certainly they've had to be up to speed tonight to beat this Everton team, and they are going to beat them. And it means that Goodison Park is going to experience defeat in its last derby.
I think Branthwaite might have to visit the dentist very shortly. As I say, just looking at the clash there, it was literally face on face, wasn't it, both players? And the referee really should have stopped the game straight away. The game gets stopped for so many incidents that are not serious this day and age, but I think Liverpool counter-attack opportunity didn't want to stop it.
I know it's Valentine's Day this week, but that was a lip smacker that you don't want.
Yeah, indeed.
Drop ball, and it's given to Jordan Pickford, and we're in the 96th minute of the game. Everton, unless they score from this attack, are going to lose against Liverpool. Up it goes into the evening sky. A flick on by Beto. It drops for Jake O'Brien. Tsimikas managed to get it clear. Alcaraz back. Again, O'Brien goes up there. Forward by Irabunum. Stabbed clear by Van Dijk and picked up by Trent Alexander-Arnold, who runs clear down this right-hand side and plays a very sensible ball into the corner so that Nunez can chase it. Good defending by Branthwaite to get it back to the goalkeeper, and Everton come forward again. Good header by Doucouré. Hooked back on by O'Brien, who's gone further up the pitch to try and add to the attack in the final few moments, with Young going to right back. It's gone out of play on this near side. It'll be a throw-in in the 97th minute of the game. We're only supposed to have 5 added, but, well, Branthwaite's tooth came out. It's cleared away by Pickford. Upfield, Harrison looking to win the header. Konate gets there first. Beto goes up, loose in midfield. Irabunum forward, poor ball, cut out by Van Dijk. Drops for the halfway line, and Harrison, who gets away from Szoboszlai, but is immediately engaged by 3. It runs to Beto, halfway line Alcaraz, shapes it out to the far side, collected by the far touchline by Young, launches it forward, up to the edge of the box. Doucouré tries to flick it on. It's with Harrison now left edge of the area. He tries a cross, it's blocked by Szoboszlai. Comes to Mikolenko, and up and under into the box. It bounces once, then comes through to the far post. It's whacked into the net by Tarkowski. The final act of the Merseyside derby at Goodison Park is an equalising goal from a man who has played 100 consecutive Premier League games for Everton. The captain of the club wheels away in celebration. There's a mini pitch invasion. There's an overspill of emotion, and James Tarkowski is its reason. 98 minutes on the clock. Tarkowski comes to Everton's rescue. It's 2-2 in the final derby at Goodison.
Well, the Liverpool players surrounding the referee. They think there was a push in there somewhere. There's carnage on the far touchline. The staff are on, the supporters are on, the players are all over the place, and Tarkowski thinks he's made it 2-2.
James Tarkowski. You can take all of the applause, you can drink in the moment, until that horrible, horrible sign comes up in the corner which says checking possible offside.
Wow.
In the lead up to the goal. VAR.
This is really tight. In fact, on my first viewing, I would say just straight offside. But it is
Doucouré or Beto on this near side? I can't see.
You tell me.
I can't. You can't.
No.
The camera's too far away. You can't actually see.
Yeah, I would say this side. I think it's Beto. This side, closest to us, is the one that will be adjudged. Did he have?
It's so close.
It's incredible.
I mean, this is inches, and this is the last thing that will ever happen in a Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. And nothing says 2025 like, let's give Goodison Park a send-off in a derby by checking an offside goal with VAR.
And I'll tell you what, if this is given, the place will erupt once again. It's absolute carnage in here at the moment. You cut the atmosphere with a knife waiting for this decision.
Well, there's loads of tension inside this stadium because we haven't got any indication yet.
You know, it's Van Dijk's feet, isn't it, that will keep him on. His left foot, I think, might keep him on.
Top of his shoulder. He's leaning, isn't he?
He is.
He's leaning towards the D. And there was a blue flare that was sent into the sky over in the corner of the Gladys Street and the Bullens Road stand opposite us. The Everton fans think they've heard that there is a VAR green light. They think they have. They don't know yet. But Michael Oliver is about to make his judgment. It is onside. It is a goal. And it does count. Thank God for that. The VAR gods are shining. And Everton's goal will be given by Michael Oliver. He's just about to tell us officially on the field of play. Unless there is another incident.
A potential push early on, just there on Konate, is what they'll be looking at the moment. I don't think there was enough there to give the free kick, personally.
There's the goal, there's the moment. Scratch what's happened in the last 2 minutes. Just enjoy James Tarkowski's finish. That was it. That was Goodison Park. That was history. 2-2.
I've got to say, Sam, there's been a couple of shots that have been wayward. Tarkowski unloaded an unstoppable finish from about 8 yards. This place has gone manic. 2-2.
Well, Liverpool just been dragged back that little bit further. Just as they thought they were walking out of Goodison again with 3 points. James Tarkowski, the captain of Everton, comes to their rescue. So late, so very, very late. But the Goodison Park faithful believe it was worth waiting for.
Sam, I said at the start of the game, Everton have got to win all the first contacts, win the headers, make things a bit desperate for Liverpool. They've done that, but they had to wait for the last minute to do it. 3 contacts and a goal.
Now this is how Everton envisaged waving off
the Goodison Park derby, but this isn't, because it's now spilled over into a bit of a brawl over on the far side with players from both sides involved. They went careering over to the Bullens Road stand. The stewards had to intervene and they had to be dragged away. Well, it's certainly got a very bit spicy there with the players from both teams, Curtis Jones, Beto, Jordan Pickford, all involved in it. And they've had to be dragged off by members of the stewarding team. And even the police have gone over and got involved and stopped Charlie Alcaraz getting involved in proceedings as well. What a fascinating end. What an intriguing end to a wonderful send-off as far as the Merseyside derby is concerned, to this grand old stadium from this grand old club. The next time that these two meet, the walk to Everton's place will be a lot longer. But it might not have the feeling, the emotion, the passion and the intensity, and it certainly won't have the history of this place. The Reds' last visit to Goodison Park in the Premier League ends like so many of their games against Everton, in a draw. It means that Everton keep their head up high on the final Premier League derby day at this famous old place, and Liverpool drop points at the beginning of their crucial Premier League run. Everton 2, Liverpool 2.
Well, Liverpool staff are not happy with Michael Oliver at all. He's got a yellow card out, Michael Oliver. He's still
he's just
officiating.
He's sent Decore off. A yellow and a red. Decore's just been sent off.
So Decore is seen his second yellow. He has gone.
On a Slot's been sent off.
It's a memorable end. Just as Decore was sent off, Arne Slot said something. Michael Oliver showed him the red. Decore then turned around to Slot and gave it a gesture as if to say, you're yapping too much. Arne Slot's arguing with Michael Oliver. I have to say, I believe the referee has caused this situation. I'll get to it in a second. Difficult game to referee, but he's caused this situation by playing far too much time, which is something we need to talk about in just a moment. Virgil van Dijk's trying to calm everybody down. Arne Slot, it seems, might have been just trying to shake Michael Oliver's hand and got a red card for that.
I tell you what, a few of the players should take a lead from Van Dijk on how to conduct yourself. What a finish to a game. The emotions are massively high. I think what sparked it off, I think it was Decore or Beto. I think it was Decore who went to the Liverpool fans at the final whistle. Curtis Jones took exception to that, and from that an absolute melee, cards coming out, all the players. Seamus Coleman, I think it is getting involved with McAllister down there. You name it, there's carnage on the pitch. But listen, I think aside from all that, football's been a winner and excitement tonight. It's been an absolute brilliant spectacle.
It has. It's been thrilling, no doubt about it. Michael Oliver makes his way down the tunnel, a police escort. He never has a quiet Merseyside derby at Goodison Park, that's for sure. And he hasn't had one in the final one. But if I just go back to the point, and it's worth making the point before we discuss the game. 5 minutes was added. The goal went in on 96 minutes, 57 seconds. And listen, you play to the whistle, it's a minimum 5 minutes added, but you're talking about 2 more minutes being added on, and I think that's why Liverpool was so angry about it.
I think that clash of heads with the two Everton players, and you've got to give the referee credit, he played on from that and give Liverpool the advantage of attempting to score a goal. So maybe that's where the 2 minutes are from, Aid.
Oh, I'm not saying there weren't 2 minutes. I'm just saying that's why Liverpool weren't happy about it, because it felt to them like we were playing till Everton equalised, and they did equalise. And what a story. The captain, James Tarkowski, who has been such a good servant to this football club, belts in a beauty right at the end. to get a point, to get a draw in the last derby here at Goodison Park. Couldn't have been more fitting, really, could it?
No, it couldn't. As I say, he's been a brilliant servant to football, Tarkowski, I've got to say, at Burnley, at Everton. And to be fair to him, it would have been easier to slash that over the crossbar. What a finish. He's called it on the volley. It's on the screens now. He's cut across the ball and unleashed a venomous strike, akin to the likes of Dalglish and Rush that are walking up the stands at the moment.
Yeah, the Kenny Dalglish there, just walking past some Everton fans who let him know what the score was in no uncertain terms. And listen, Everton haven't even won it. It's finished 2-2, but Liverpool, for them, it will feel a bit like a defeat. They're 7 points clear. They've now played as many games as Arsenal. It's still going to be very difficult for Arsenal or anybody to track them down, hunt them down and overtake them, isn't it?
I think when the dust settles, both teams will be delighted with this point. Liverpool a little bit frustrated. It was a late equaliser. Aside from that, a point here in this high-octane affair, I think, is a very good point for Liverpool. Everton, in the manner in which they come back in the game, this point will be a very important one for them as well in context of their season.
And if we go back to the we'll go back to the Liverpool goal and talk about it very shortly, but there is a goal at Celtic Park in the Champions League, Alex Crook.
And it could be a big one. Celtic 1, Bayern Munich 2. And it's Dejan Maida who's got Celtic back in the game. It came from a corner on the right-hand side. The German side just couldn't deal with. I think Harry Kane actually trying to defend the set piece, flicked it across his own 6-yard box. And in the end, Maida stooped to head home from around about 4 yards out. 10 minutes to go. Celtic 1, Bayern Munich 2.
Well, that next goal was crucial. If Bayern Munich had got it, that is tie over. Celtic giving themselves a little bit of hope. Celtic 1, Bayern Munich 2. Let's get some full times for the Championship to the Stadium of Light, where the whistle has just gone, Graham Courtney.
Yeah, Sunderland 2, Luton Town 0. Just briefly, 13 minutes on the clock. Enzo Lefebvre with a decent ball. He's actually hammered it into the back of the net. He's going to be a really good signing. 59 on the clock. Scruffy clearance by Luton. Fell to Wilson Isidore, and he's knocked it in from the edge of the D. Sunderland stay fourth. Luton down to the bottom. Finish Sunderland 2, Luton Town 0.
Wow, Luton, what on earth has gone wrong there? Full time at Turf Moor, Mickey Gray.
It's finished Burnley 2, Hull City 0. Goals from Bashir Humphreys and Zian Fleming in the first half. It was a dominant performance from Burnley. They never looked under pressure at all, keeping the pressure on the sides at the top of the Championship. It's finished at Turf Moor, Burnley 2, Hull City 0.
I can tell you, Curtis Jones got 2 yellows as well in the mess that was the end of the game. Abdoulaye Doucouré, 2 yellows, he's off. Arne Slot saw red. Curtis Jones, 2 yellows as well. Just to give you the rest of the Championship scores tonight, Bristol City beat Stoke City 2-0. You know, Burnley beat Hull 2-0. Plymouth 5, Millwall 1. Puts that win against Liverpool's reserves into perspective. Sunderland 2, Luton 0. Swansea 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. And they're still playing live on Talksport 2. And Sheffield United have just taken the lead, in fact, against Middlesbrough. Borough equalised, but Ben Brereton Diaz has put Sheffield United back in front, cancelling out Delano Bergzorg's penalty right at half-time. And Blackburn leading 2-0 at West Bromwich Albion, and still playing in the Champions League as well. Celtic 2-1 down, Feyenoord 1, Milan 0, Monaco 0, Benfica 1 and Monaco down to 10 men. Curtis Jones, it was Stuart Pearce who basically made that goal that put Liverpool in front here at Goodison Park. He burst into the box, robbed the ball of O'Brien, who was sleeping, had a shot, it deflected to Salah, whose finish was so cool, and we thought Liverpool had won the game, but it's a good goal from Salah.
Oh, it was a brilliant goal. Listen, I think he's had a reasonable, quiet game in comparison to what Salah can do. I thought Mikalenko dealt with him reasonably well. He's got a goal and assist again. He's an absolute machine of a player, and he's all on at the moment to be the player of the season, no doubt.
Well, Salah gets his goal. Both sides get a point. And would you say over the course of the 95 and near 100 minutes with all the VAR checks that actually a draw was a fair result in the end, wasn't it?
Well, if you're Liverpool, you probably debate that statement, but I would say the endeavour that both teams put in, if you could watch it with a cool head as a neutral you would say yes. I don't think either team deserved to lose that game tonight, and I think when the dust settles tomorrow, both teams will be happy with what they've got out the game.
Yeah, and I think the endeavour is the interesting one, because you can look at stats and they can tell you what they tell you, but then you can also have a look at what a team, the eye test we call it, don't we? And you can have a look at that. But actually, Everton were competitive in the game. They did get forward. They did score goals in the game. They caused Liverpool some problems. And yes, they played it in a different way to Liverpool. But actually, yeah, the endeavour was there. But I thought they had attacking intent as well. It wasn't men behind the ball all the time.
Oh, definitely not. There was no way it was. And the likes of Beto and Decore, I thought, were a nuisance from start to finish. The energy they put into it, they competed for every header, and they made it very, very difficult for Liverpool.
Right, time now for us to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Man of the match on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day.
Who are you going for, Stuart Pearce?
Well, this is not an easy call, but I tell you what, he's a bit of an ugly duckling, I think, but the importance that he's going to be to Everton because of the injuries they've got, I'm going to go for Beto. I think he scored a goal, brilliant run for the goal and finished well. I think he was a continual thorn in the side. He held it up, he competed, and I think the energy that he gives to his team as a focal point, I'm going for him.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a bad shout at all. I think you've got it spot on, because I was thinking, even at 2-1, I was thinking Liverpool's defenders know they've been in a game. You know, they've been in a physical battle with Beto. They've been in a running battle with Beto. Decore helping him out just behind him as well. And I think that's a fair shout, Beto. I think when Dominic Calvert-Lewin got injured, there was a bit of doom and gloom around Goodison Park, but actually Beto really has stepped up to the plate. It looks like David Moyes is making him a better player, dare I say.
Yeah, as I say, he's getting his chance to play now with Calvert-Lewin being injured. He's getting his chance to play, and the fact that he scored goals and he's got a real feel-good about himself. And at the end of this game where the melee was going on, he done a lap of honour to all the fans on his own. It was incredible, the emotion that it had to him. And I come in and spent a day with Sean Dyche and his staff before Christmas, and I talked, what's this player, what that player like? And I said, tell me about Beto. He really liked him, you know what I mean? He's a great lad, great around the place, really good, bubbly personality, that type, and credit to him.
Yeah, Beto is Stuart Pearce's man of the match from today's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.